Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, telling you, yeah, the truth, You have to go back to the roots, go to the roots. Yeah, man, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me on the Afridamus Report. As you know, this is the Afridamus Report. Today, we have the Happy Companion live from Gambia. We're going to talk to, Happy Companion about his experience in the Gambia, the homeland of his ancestors, how he eventually, made up his mind to settle on the Gambia as his home country now. But ladies and gentlemen, as you know, usually on this channel, we deal with the shenanigans that is happening out there. But for some reason, I can see that Happy Companion, he's been living in the Gambia. All the shenanigans we've been dealing with here, his name never came up. So, like I've always said, not every single individual that is talking about repatriating to Africa are bringing the shenanigans. Not everyone has the, this degenerate mindset, because when good people move, there's going to be bad ones that follow through. And when I say bad, it's not based in judgment. I'm just talking about the way they see the world, their ideas, because they don't have any clue about what they want to do. So please, ladies and gentlemen, before we bring in the Happy Companion, let me introduce him with his soundtrack, because usually this is a Sunday, we would play the Pan-Africanist song. But today, this is about the Happy Companion, and feel free to leave your comments. I'm not going to tell you to be nice or not to be nice, but all I say is be respectful. We can agree to disagree, but at the end of the day, respect is required at the Afridamus Report. So without further ado, let me introduce the Happy Companion to you before I bring him in, for him to talk to you guys. Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the Happy Companion. But it's not only a short clip. In fact, we do have the man himself here with us. So I'm going to bring in Happy Companion. He's going to tell us about his experience in Africa. Because, many a times we hear people talk about, oh, Africa is home. We did our DNA test. But the people, they're all over the place. They go to Africa, all we hear is shenanigans upon shenanigans. But there are people who are true to this, okay? They are not just followers. They actually sat down. You could tell from, the way they do things. They've thought this out. It's a healing process for them. Because you see, I know what it's like to move from one environment to another, because what Happy Companion is doing here. The difference, I did the opposite, is the reverse. So I left the Gambia, to move to the United States, where I see the United States as my home. But the Happy Companion, he went back to his ancestral land, where his ancestors came from. This is a big deal, people. So today he's going to share his experience with us, with the people who also want to be like him. The advice that he's going to give, I mean, not necessarily exactly like him, but you could learn from his experience. So I'm going to bring the Happy Companion here so he can tell you more about himself. Don't let me stop you from listening. I'm going to bring him in right now. Hey, Happy Companion. I see that. Welcome. That's right. Welcome to the show. I'm really glad. I'm really happy to have you here on the Afridamus Report. Can you please introduce yourself to the people before we get into this discussion?
Okay. I'm the Happy Companion. Name is Saeed Abubakar.
Yeah.
I'm from Long Beach, California, from the east side. I'll throw that up. I say east side is not gang banging, nothing like that. It's just the side of the city where I'm from.
Right.
Yeah, Long Beach, California. Went to high school with Snoop Dogg, other rappers, famous rappers. Long Beach Poly High School over there on Atlantic and PCH over there.
Right. Polytech.
Polytech, yeah. Poly High School.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm out there.
Yeah.
Just been around, and he's probably gonna ask me a lot of questions. I mean, it's like
I've got loads of questions for you, Happy Companion, because
okay.
This is exciting, because you've been watching this channel, right? As you know, usually I deal with the shenanigans that are out there, but I'm actually excited to meet somebody who is not part of that shenanigans, for this individual to tell us their experience, because not everyone is that way. So welcome to the Afridamus Report. Thank you for accepting this interview.
No problem.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm not gonna waste time. I'm gonna get right into it. So Happy Companion, can you tell us, where did you grow up? Because you said you grew up with you went to school with Snoop Dogg, I'm assuming California, but I'll let you tell the audience, where did you grow up?
I grew up on the east side of Long Beach, born and raised. Very good childhood and life, but then, you have poverty there as well. I was impoverished as well. Middle class, sometimes it kind of went up and down. In 1983, I was born in 1970. Okay, I may not look it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, man, that's amazing. It's a 70. Oh man, man, you don't. Amazing. What's the secret? You want to tell the audience about it?
Well, before I became enlightened, I used to tell them, no, I can't say that. Well, young ladies and good liquor. But that was back in the day.
Right. Okay.
Before I became, they're my early 20s. But no, on a serious note, I'm just joking with that. But on a serious note, it's just trying to look at life positive light as I can. And I think it went through my grandfather, my mom. They kind of helped their looks for a while. Their age. They age very well, and I stay away from a lot of foods that's not unhealthy. I'm on an alkaline diet a lot of times. Dr. Saeed, I was practicing and following that. I haven't been practicing since I've been here too much, but the diet is different. And I think I used to play rugby. I was a rugby player for like 6 years, and I played in Dubai Sevens on a regular club. And I was in Oman for about 5 years. So I was going to Dubai. So I was over there. I learned Arabic. I learned Arabic before I came, before I went to Dubai and Oman and all that. But I used to play rugby, sports, and meditation. After I pray, I try to use tasbih, just relax and stuff. And and just see the positive things in life. No matter how things may get to me, I try to, you know, uh, look at it as a challenge and as an opportunity to be better, and to as a learning curve. You know, say, okay, I need to learn from this, and so that's what it mainly, I think it comes from. You know, I just try to be think positive, and then when, you know, I think I said on one of my lives or something, somebody asked me, I said, well, when I wash my face, I wash upwards. And because
Oh,
when you wash your face, you go downwards, you get bags in your eyes, your face kind of sinks. So you
oh,
try to
okay.
wash
That's
your face.
interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay.
So I learned that my mom did that. My mom was a registered nurse when I was growing
Oh,
up. So
okay.
yeah, so
That's
she was
that's
into that stuff.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful. And so what was life like growing up, up in Long Beach? What was life like?
Man, it was almost like survival of the fittest sometimes, you know. Like this, I saw somebody comment ICG and rolling 20s, you know, insane Crip gang, rolling 20 Crips. I mean, you had it was all about colors, whatever color you wear, you know, you define who you were to a lot. Even if you didn't gang bang was hectic. It was hardcore there, and I've seen people lose their lives. I've seen people go to jail, prison, you know. And what happened in 1983 was the crack epidemic. As
Right.
soon as that came in, that destroyed a lot of lives. You know, people personally in my family, you know, got addicted to it, and then it just destroyed the Black community there and the Latin community. You know, Latinos as well, and Asians. You know, it was mostly, but for the Black community as a whole, there was a lot of businesses they were running, and all of a sudden, those businesses wasn't Black owned anymore. It started to change over because of that addictiveness. You
Right.
know, yeah, it was violent. You know, people, you know, carrying guns to school, and, you know, probably doing that still now. And so I was very grateful and thankful to make it out of that, because I was, I mean, I had either I'm going to be in dead or in jail or on
Right.
drugs, or, you know, that's the way it is. So it was tough, bro. It wasn't a joke. And I'm still grateful for that upbringing, because it made me tough. It made me kind of like laid back. I always had like a girlfriend, you know, in those days, that kind of, hey, let's go to the movies. Everybody else hanging out, doing stupid stuff. You find out somebody got shot in a drive-by shooting. You know, that could have been me. And so I was
Right.
like, you know
Right.
what? So I was into books. I was in the school. I was gifted and talented. Okay, they had the California Achievement Test. So in the fourth, fifth, and sixth grade, I aced this test, got 100% on every exam. And so I was going to high school every Friday with my older brother. My older brother went to Wilson High School. He went to Poly, then he transferred to Wilson. So I went over there, and I was going to high school, taking high school classes. And I always wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to be something with science and stuff. So I was kind of into that. And I was, I guess, very quiet and shy. Except with, like I said, I had a girlfriend, but I was quiet and shy. I had my own group, my own crew, and I hung with them since elementary school through high school, and we all still friends today. And so, you know, some people passed away of just by natural things,
Natural
natural
things.
occurrences.
Right.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah.
what? It's amazing that you mentioned that. I'm sure. I'm not sure if you really, if you've heard me talk about when I used to be in law enforcement, working in the correctional department.
Okay.
So it's interesting that you brought the gangs. My association and understanding of them was, within the prison system itself. So I
Mhm.
understand you were in the military too, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So growing up in Long Beach, going
Mhm.
through all that turmoil. So
Yeah.
what was your idea? Like, what was your understanding of yourself, as far as, like, let's say Africa is concerned? What was your idea of Africa?
You know, I always felt like I was a little different, in a sense, like I was, I didn't feel in place. I didn't feel like I belong. I always prayed to God. I say, can you get me out of this situation that I'm in? I didn't ask for this. It was given to me, and I was the victim of the circumstances that I was in. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was like, I prayed, and I was always I went to the Air Force first, and then I went to the Coast Guard. But I used to see, we passed by McDonnell Douglas. It's like industrial aircraft thing, and it said home of Air Force F-16, this and that. So I was thinking of that. I said I need to get out here and travel and stuff like that. But when it comes to Africa, I think there was two young girls from the Sudan, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was like 10 years old, and my younger brother, he was younger than me, and my older brother was 7 years older than me. And so I had my younger brother, and we saw these girls, and we kind of wanted to play with them, but they just looked. They didn't. I mean, we have a look. We're African, but they we was like, are they like us? We couldn't tell. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted to play.
Okay. So, like, for instance, because so when you first encountered them, like, because you were born and raised in the American system, you're socialized in the American system. So when you met these Sudanese people, did that like trigger something in your head? Like, okay, wait a minute, these people, they are black just like me, but they speak a completely different language. Like, what did that trigger in your brain?
Well, the trigger in my brain, pretty much was like, I want to know about these kids. I really want to know, but we never really got a chance to hang out, or anything like that, And then years later, I saw in high school, and then they were just like normal kids. I mean, not normal kids, African American kids. I think they went to Wilson, as a matter of fact. I think I saw them by there, and we recognized each other. We said, "Hey, how you doing?" I remember we was little kids and stuff like that. But when that song "We Are the World" came out.
Oh yeah, I remember that song. Yeah, we are the world.
We are the
children. That's right. I remember watching that on TV, Michael Jackson and everybody, So yeah.
Yeah. So we was thinking, in our perception of Africa was everybody was starving. They had issues. I mean, it's like it was impoverished. They wasn't really us. They used the term African booty scratcher.
Booty scratcher, right?
Yeah, and so that was the issues that was going on. It's like we weren't considered the same. Like we knew. I don't even think we kind of knew our people were from Africa originally. Because when we started going to school, school started to teach about Black history a little bit, and they said that we came over, we were slaves and stuff like that. Martin Luther King speeches, so we started to know, but our perception wasn't positive because we weren't. It's like it was something we was disconnected from the continent, and we were just 300 or 400 years away from it, and we want to connect. So something inside me said I want to connect, and then eventually it kind of happened. And who else? Long Beach is a melting pot. To be honest with you, there's a lot of people from Africa, the Caribbean.
I've been out there.
Okay.
LBC. I've been to the LBC. Been to Oakland. All those areas.
Yes.
But then after all that, when did your awakening, like, where you were like, okay, here is this. I don't just want to be curious. I want to start this journey to understand, who I am, because it has to start with you, the individual. When did that begin?
I was in the military, and I always kind of hung with brothers who was older than me, 3 to 5 years older than me, who was schooling me. Because I came from, and I'm not in for a sob story. I'm a strong brother. You know what I'm saying? I was strong then. I was just quiet. I was observant, and so, and the older brothers in there took me under their wing, because a day prior, I had a waves with a shag like Ralph Tresvant.
Oh yeah, so you were one of the wave brothers, huh?
Yeah. You would get seasick.
Before Afridamus grew the hair out, I used to give people seasickness too.
Afridamus.
I used to give them seasickness.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was getting, I was brushing it with the Dax waving groom and and stuff, and then I had a little curl in the back, like New Edition, and so then I had a T-shirt, snakeskin belt, khakis, and Deodoras and stuff, and all of a sudden,
looking fresh. Making
was,
sure the jean is all crisp and lined up, right?
Yes. The jeans have to be crisp. The laces have to be fat, and we had to tuck the laces in. You know what I'm saying?
Shoes has to be clean.
Shoes have to be clean. You step on my shoes, that's a problem.
That's right.
You don't want no problems with me. You know what I'm saying? And so a little gold chain, earring, left, it had to be in the left ear. Can't be in both. Now
That's right.
In both, but it had to be in the left ear. I think I was 16, 17 when I got my ear pierced the first time, and that's the only pierce I ever had. Trying to be cool and stuff. Got a baseball cap, LA Raiders and stuff. And then the next day, I'm in boot camp. He shaved all my stuff. I'm here marching around, people yelling at me and stuff, and I'm like, this ain't nothing. This is all right. I've been yelled at worse than that. Saying I had a shotgun put in my face.
So you fit right in, right?
Yeah, to a certain extent. It's like I fit in. I knew what I wanted. I said I was going to do 20 years and active and then get out and stuff. But what I said when I went overseas, as I was going through my my transformation, I was out there partying. I was all hanging out, NCO club, or the Airmen's Club, and going out, hanging out, and then went to then I got assignment over to Korea. I was over there. And we was partying, but there was brothers out there with knowledge. Even when I was at my first assignment in the States, there was brothers with knowledge just carrying me around. Then I ended up going to DC. But what happened, I read Malcolm X autobiography. I read Roots by Alex Haley when I was in the military. And I found out he was from the Gambia. He said the Gambia, he prayed 5 times a day. I was touching with Islam. I was like, I stopped eating pork. I just became a Muslim by myself until I finally officially took the Shahada. And then I started saying, a lot of people, I'm not here to please anybody. I'm just here to speak my truth. People might not like it, but that's fine. I'm gonna spit it right now.
The fact of the matter is, people, they have the right to interpret things however way they want.
Yeah.
We whatever you say, trust me, they would always find a way to find something wrong with it. You see what I'm saying? So
yes.
But what you're laying out, this is your own experience. You're not making it up, No. It's your real life. So if people don't like it, that's on them. I mean, they could learn from you if they're open-minded, but hey, they don't have to. I believe in one thing. I believe in personal accountability. People have the right to be dumb. They do. They have the right not to be either. So it's all up to them. So lay it out, brother.
Yeah. I feel like I see some stuff. That's fine. But like I said, the military, I went to college for like a semester, and then I joined the military. It was just too violent while I was at it. It was just too much going on. I started seeing the same people going in and out of jail, stuff. I was like, so that's why I kind of joined. I want to see the world and get the hell out. So, and then when I was in it, I started to read about Black history, about the history of these type of books, the Quran. I read the Holy Quran, of course, and I was reading the Bible too. So I was trying to compare and see what am I missing this? And then I read the Quran, and it mentions the Bible in the Quran. So it mentions the Bible in the Quran. I said, okay, so this is and when it said in Roots by Alex Haley, it said he saw what's his name? He was from Jufre. And he was and he said his family prayed 5 times a day. And then I'm like, okay. So I was like, I was trying to find out who I am, because a lot of times I think that it's a calling to a certain, people may say it's a calling. Some people say it's a spiritual quest. Right. And, in Islam, we're not supposed to say we're not pray to our ancestors, but I think our ancestors prayed for one of their loved ones to eventually come back home. And I feel it sometimes in me, and it's no joke. It's not nothing like that. I used to just think about, I started eating African food, whatever I can, African restaurants. And then when I finally found out about Ethiopia for real, I was a best man at an Ethiopia wedding. One of my
Oh,
college
okay. Oh,
friends, yeah.
okay.
I only did like 5 years active duty, and then the rest was reserves and stuff, you know. And so you can still get a pension, you know, you do some good years, you get a good in the reserves and National Guard. But I was the best man at Ethiopia wedding. I used to love Ethiopian food. And so when they said "We Are the World," they was talking about that song "We Are the World." They were talking about um, Ethiopia with
Ethiopia,
the
right?
famine.
Saying the
Yeah,
starvation and all that.
yeah. But there's
Right.
some beautiful women from Ethiopia. I'm sorry. And so, you know what I'm saying? In LA, I go to the restaurants, I'm hitting it up. I'm like, you know, and so we are so much negativity about African continent when, you know, because we see these videos, but to see Ethiopian people, to see African people, you know, from Africa up close, it's like, it's amazing.
Oh,
It's
so
like, instead of
did you visit? Did you go to Did you used to go to Little Ethiopia up there?
all the time, brother.
Okay,
Fairfax and
okay.
Pico.
Oh,
Fairfax
okay.
and Pico. Oh
Right,
yeah, I
right.
had a lot of my going away parties, and even met with some folks at Ethiopian before I came to the Gambia. Some YouTubers and stuff and subscribers. They wanted to link up. So I met up with them in Little Ethiopia. So I had a lot of time there. At least once or twice a month, I would go and check out that food. And then I start checking out a lot of Nigerian food, and I start to love fufu. You know, it start to, you know, getting into me like that. So,
So you
you know,
basically like, you know, you looked at your environment and you were naturally just curious to find out, you know, like you were drawn to find out about who you are,
yeah,
like who these
yeah,
people are, how are you related to them, right?
yes, yes, yes. Because every day I will look at my face, I'll look at my nose, I'll look at stuff. You know what I'm saying? They say we African American, and I'm like, but I have you know, a European name and stuff. So that kind of did it to me. And when I read Malcolm X autobiography, that kind of like, I mean, he was a hustler, he was a pimp, and this and that, and then he went through these stages of what he came out of that, and then he started to see, because you can't read that book halfway or quarter. You got to read the whole thing, or else you end up hating white people. Like I
Right.
said, I don't hate white people. You
Yeah.
know, we get to that
Well,
point.
if you notice,
Yeah.
I talk about when I sometimes some people would come on my section and say, "Oh, you must
Okay.
love white people." What they don't understand is because even at the end it says people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't love white people, you're telling me you love no one. It's hard for me to be convinced that you're literally
Mm-hmm.
saying you hate other humans, but you're telling me that you love me. It's like a child someone saying, "I love God." You know, you've never seen God, but then hate
Mm-hmm.
their father. So so it's about that. Like you don't have to necessarily agree with
Mm-hmm.
other human beings, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, love is love. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Exactly. And what I don't like people, if I mean the people that hate, but the people that I don't, I'm not fun at anybody who was racist toward anybody. I don't like
Right.
that. And
Mhm.
so that's the cause of problems that happens, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, um, um, I saw what I read Malcolm X. I saw he was going through, and then when he went to Mecca and he saw he was eating out the same plate with people with blonde hair and blue eyes, it kind of threw him off because he was always taught the wrong type of, you know, way of the different type of way. I can't say wrong, but different type of perspective of Islam. He was taught that way because there was the information, and there was a life at that, you know, even currently at a lot of times there's a life there. And you know, I had a lot of good people from all races who were my friends today, you know what I'm saying, who even watch my channel. There are non-melanated people who watch my channel that I know for years, and some I maybe met last year or something before I came here sometime, and they like what I do. They because they're against white supremacy, they're against racism, they're not for that, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And that's what I like about, you know, what we do, you know, what's going on. You know, this has been a good outlet for me. Yeah, but
That's
that's why I
good.
became awakened. I became awakened, and I felt like I was shoved so much negativity, so much incorrect things in my life. Nothing about Africa. It's nothing about where we come from. And so, but I always had an inkling to come here, and it was always in my system to say, hey, I want to go to Africa. You know, I want to see it. You know, and so that's kind of what helped me and kind of enlighten me, especially when I entered Islam. That really helped me. It really calmed me down as far as like it answered a lot of questions. It made me more spiritual. When I'm praying next to people, black, white, green, and yellow, whatever, it's all brothers and sisters, you know, and that's why I love that feeling, you know, of that. So that helped me, and to know and love myself as a black man. I finally start to love myself as who I was, because we're taught so much about, and you know, where I come from. It's like a exchange we're doing today, brother. I feel like we're exchanging information, man. I just felt like I was taught, you know, to not like what I am, who I look like, and everybody else who doesn't look like me, they're better than me. And so,
Yeah, that's what
and
I
then
was
I
gonna
realized,
ask you actually,
yes,
like growing up in a system, in a country where I mean it's a Eurocentric based Western culture. That's the dominant culture. So did that, like growing up where you see yourself one way, but what is being presented, you know, like did it create like a confusion, you know, in your mind where you don't feel any connection to that? And did that happen to you, like not really connecting to it, like, okay, this is not for me? So were you confused before you grew into loving yourself as who you are?
yeah, you know, it's confusion there, because you know you feel like, you know, we're in there and we're lost. We're lost. We grew up in a system that we lost, and we don't know anything about where we come from. Everybody around us, the Cambodians, the Vietnamese, a lot of the people, they know their languages, they know their culture, they know a lot of things like that. But we seem to be adopted a different culture. You know what I'm saying? A culture that is alien, pretty much alien to us, that was forced upon us. And so I didn't like that feeling. So I felt like there was something like, when you watch Boys of the Hood, you know, you see all that stuff going on in there. And that movie made me cry when I was actually saw it when I was in the military. So you felt like you're lost, but now you're found, because you get that knowledge of self, you get that awakening, and you feel like you don't want to ever let that feeling go, because once it hits you, bam. Because older brothers, like I said, they was always take me under their wing, and they would say, hey, you got to read this book, brother. Yo, you got a lot of heart. He said you got a lot of horse. As we call me, you're a tough brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I was,
You
you know,
know,
working out.
hold, Happy
Yeah.
Company, hold on. Let me get, somebody is knocking on my door. Just hold that thought real quick, okay? I'll be right back. Let me get them off my door. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Just somebody dropping off some chocolate chip cookies.
I heard that,
Sorry
brother.
about that.
I heard
But
that.
yeah. So seeing other people, who are they have their own culture, their own language. Like that's where you were. The Cambodians, take it from there.
Oh yeah, you know, the Cambodians, Vietnamese, everybody had their culture. They coming from, even though they were poor, impoverished sometimes, coming over, they call them boat people and stuff. But we even said, I mean, people who I know who was fought, older brothers and sisters, men who was in Vietnam War, you know, they was racist toward them. Sometimes they call them Buddha heads and things like that, and you know, because they worship Buddha. You know, I mean, they were Buddhists. I'm sorry. And so,
Right.
but a lot of the Cambodians and stuff, they were real cool with black people. They still are. They a lot of them consider they like being around black people, the Vietnamese too, and so they kind of like open. And when I was in the military, like I said, I became a commissioned officer. You know, I became equivalent to a captain. You know, I was a lieutenant, so I led people and stuff, and you know, got my master's degree. I became educated. I was um, learning from, you know, knowledge. I think if I wasn't raised in that environment, if I was raised in a place, you know, differently, I probably would have had a PhD or whatever. I probably would have been doing something else, you know. But I probably never went to the military. I probably would have just stayed and
And work.
and work. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And
right.
so, yeah. But you know, I wouldn't change the way I grew up and things like that. I wouldn't change it for anything because that's made me who I am, you know, today. And so I feel like everything was destined for a reason. And at my good ripe age, you know, I feel like you know, because I've been to Africa before, you know.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Where'd you go the first time?
in the early 2000s, I was there. I went several times to East Africa, Kenya, Tanzania. When I was in college, I started studying Arabic, which is an Afro-Asiatic language, Afro-Semitic language. I studied Swahili. So I was taking, my thing, I was trying to retain and reclaim everything that was taken from me. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like the language was that. I'm surprised I'm not in East Africa. The prayers of the ancestors brought me to the Gambia, you know, and I'm like, wow, I'm in the Gambia, and it's amazing to be here to see all this in this, you know, and so it's like for me, all the things that I've been through in my life led me to what I'm doing now, and I see that it's going to be more to come, and I don't know what it is. So I just, you know, everybody has their own reason for doing it, and I'll let you guys know my reasoning. Everybody's different, but I feel there's a lot of people.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
No problem.
So,
Okay.
Happy Companion, you know, it's beautiful. Like having your background, you know, gives me a understanding of where you're coming from. So, would you, you know, like, you know, there's especially about my channel, I talk about pan-Africanism, I talk about ADOS, FBA. Are you a pan-Africanist, ADOS, or FBA? Do you subscribe to those ideologies?
You know, to be honest with you, I never heard of ADOS or FBA before I got on YouTube. I know about Pan-Africanists because of Marcus Garvey. You know, everybody has their own definition what a Pan-African is. You know, everybody can say this is right or wrong. But I think I subscribe more to the Pan-Africans. I am a Pan-Africanist, you know. And the reason why I say this is because I believe in connecting us together, just like you see what we're doing on this channel right now. Someone from diaspora, someone from the continent, someone from the continent who lives in the diaspora, someone from the diaspora who lives in the continent. To me, this is something, you know, that couldn't be heard of many years ago because there was always, like I said, a disconnect. And for me, as a Pan-African, I believe that group economics, Black economics, you know what I'm saying? I believe in exchanging ideas, cultures, and take the very good of each of it to make us, who, you know, a better people, to awaken people who was like me at 10 years old. It's like, that they look a little different. Where they from? Are they from Africa? You know what I'm saying? Instead of like, hey, they from Africa. Okay, let's go ahead and what do you do? Where you from? What area from Africa are you from? What city? I wanted you to meet my parents, or, you know, stuff like that. Instead of like, these people are alien. What the hell is they doing here? Are they just, you know? So that's what I want to do. I want to do more of connecting us and having us as and because, like I said, you coming from here. You have a lot of things that a lot of us who are like myself, I'm not saying everybody, we want to have what you have as far as that knowledge of your culture, your language, you know, to be able, you know, to come to, you know, how can I say it, like you are like a teacher in a lot of sense, a teacher to us without even knowing it, you know, and so people are striving to be, we want to be African, you know, and we want to be, you know, not pro-Black, but like, you know, and when I do like this, I'm talking about Black unity. You know, that's what the power fits for. It's not Black power, it's Black unity. You know, I put it Black unity. People don't realize that, they misinterpret that sometimes too. But so I feel like, you know, And I think that, for me, as a Pan-Africanist, I wanted to see more positivity, positive relations, positive connections, positive exchange of information and knowledge. And so that way we can, the people who are lost like myself, that was lost before, we can be found and learning about who we are. Because, I felt like, when someone's, like I wasn't taken away from here. I wasn't, what I'm saying?
Right.
I know that. I know I wasn't taken away. That was maybe 200 years ago, one of my ancestors, my family tree was taken from here, from the continent. But a lot of times, some of the things that we um, suffering has to do with that, but not necessarily 100%. I can't say 100%, but there's a percentage of damage that's been done to us. Otherwise, I would not have looked at those two little girls as something that's different, as alien. I'm like, I would have probably looked at them, or I probably would look at myself as like, wow, you got a wide nose, we got a big lips, you know what I'm saying? You got dark skin. To me, I'm dark skinned, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like the color that I'm getting, before I came here, I was a little lighter, but I always said I always consider myself dark skinned, you know what I'm saying, to me, you know what I'm saying? And I like that, before,
Well, yeah.
hmm? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes,
no, I
sir.
was just saying, I don't know, maybe in Gambia, for instance, like when I first saw your video, I saw your picture. I actually thought you were like like a Fulani person. Do you get that? Do you get
Oh man, I
get
get
that
that.
a lot?
Man, I get that a lot. Even at the checkpoints, they start speaking Fuller to me. Hold on, why? Sometimes,
Yeah.
stuff, and I'm picking it up now. I'm trying to pick it up,
Oh yeah.
and
Speaking of which, do you speak any of the local languages over there in Gambia?
mhm. Every time I try to learn a language, something else, another language I want to learn comes up. So the three main language I'm trying to master is Wolof, Mandinka, and Fula. So for those three. So now I'm working on, I haven't, and that's my fault. I'm normally more aggressive in language learning, but most of the time when I go to a country, they're not speaking like several languages. They're speaking one language, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can
Hmm.
easily master it. But so, Wolof is like the business language,
Right.
in the Mandinka and
And
other ones. So
Mandinka.
in Mandinka. And so Fula is one of those languages all over West Africa a lot. So it's like if you learn a little Fula, it kind of helps you to go to different, it helps you kind of a wider region. But Wolof is, I think I'm gonna learn Wolof, along with Fula first, and then hit the Mandinka. And that's
You
what I'm
know,
kind of doing.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank you,
Believe this
thank
or not, right?
you.
Believe this or not, like even myself, right? At one point, I didn't speak any of these languages. I didn't come to the Gambia till I was about 10 years old. I didn't speak
Oh,
any of the languages, but I eventually picked up. So you'll definitely be able to, because um people probably see me, they think I've always spoke these languages. No, I moved there to learn it too. So so
yes.
so so you're good to go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate
You,
it,
you,
appreciate it.
so
Yeah.
how did you decide to, why Gambia? How did you narrow it down to Gambia? Why did you
You,
pick Gambia?
Wow. That's a question everybody asks me. And I'm always really, really, when I go back to that question, it gets me emotionally because I think about, you know, you know, it's like the Gambia. Like I said, I read Roots, Alex Haley. Uh, I took a DNA test, found out I have Mandinka, I have Fula in me. Mandinka from the Gambian region,
Mhm.
Senegambia region. That's what it says, Senegambia River region. About small percentage, but enough to say, yeah, I got some Mandinka in me. One of my ancestors' grandparent or second, whatever, was from here or something, because there's a small percentage or something. But it was enough to really get me on that, because on the Gambian path. I like Gambia because it's like essentially located to the extent. It's a fertile country when it comes to getting things done, like businesses. How can I say it? It's not that expensive to us from the West. You know what I'm saying, to be here
Right.
as well.
Hmm.
And I did, and it's for me, it's a hijra. you know, and I want to leave where I'm coming from to migrate to a Muslim country, and Gambia was it. You know, I went to Hajj. I'm a
Oh, you
Haji. Okay,
you did. So
yeah, I went to Hajj.
so over there they will have to call you Al-Haji.
Al Haji.
Al-Haji. You gotta let them know. You know, the moment you let them know, they will call you Al-Haji. That's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
title
Yeah,
they will give you.
yeah. That's why I was like, I don't like to say it too much, but you know, Haji. Then I did 3 Umrahs, so I've been to
Oh,
Mecca,
okay.
Medina. Yeah,
Mhm.
so I completed my 5 pillars, and I said, well, I'm at this still at a good age in my life, and I said, you know, why not make it to come to the Gambia? And I one of my former co-workers, cousin is here. They grew up here. They from
Oh,
America, but they grew up here.
okay.
They went to an
Okay.
Islamic school here. So Islamic school that was created, I think, in the 90s or something like that, with a
Which
lot of
one?
kids. I
Which
don't remember
one?
the school. I don't
Okay.
remember it, but they were mostly from the LA area. The LA
Okay.
area. Yeah. And so they decided to start a school out here, and so they had an Islamic school. And so these African American kids, they grew up out here, you know, for 15 years and stuff or more. And so his wife was, I mean, his cousin was here. She's married to a Gambian brother. So when I came out here that first time, I ended up seeing meeting her and her family and stuff, and we had Tabaski
Oh, the
that time
Tabaski.
last year.
Okay.
Tabaski,
Okay.
yeah.
How
So
was that? Tell us about that. How was that?
man, Tabaski. I mean, I actually saw the ram. I think it was a ram being
Uh-huh.
slaughtered
Oh, I
at their house.
actually I've done that, you know, like over there as a teenager. Yeah, one of the Tabaskis, like I was right there, pick up the knife. I slaughtered
Yep.
I slaughtered the ram as a teenager, you
Oh
know.
man, damn.
Yeah, yeah,
That's tight because
so that's beautiful. So for you, right? I
mhm,
can so you fit right in because um you're going to a place where you share the same religion, English, and you basically you're fuller pretty much. You look just like
yeah.
the fullest over there.
Thank you.
So you were just like, you fit right in,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah,
how did you
yes,
discover Gambia? I know you read Alex Haley's book,
yeah, yeah.
about Kunta Kinte, but to actually make the move to go there,
Okay.
how did you
Right.
become more motivated to just
Mhm.
to go over there? Did you know people, or what
Got
was
you.
the case?
Yes, watching YouTube, watching all the bloggers out here. I bought some land, and I said, hey, I wasn't thinking at that time I was going to move out here. I was, as far as at such a fast pace, and I was like, what else? Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, really, and just praying about it and just watching the vloggers experience, and I'm looking at it like amazed, and like some people who look at me in that same light, as I was looking at people last year in the same I was amazed. Now people looking at me as the same way, and so I was like, man, these people are pioneering this movement. It's like in their own way, and so people have different types of perspectives on how they present their thing. So I channeled my way to certain ones, and I said, okay, these are the ones that I kind of feel like they're making a difference, in what's going on and portraying it. So I took different variations of everybody, and I made my
Hmm.
own decision based upon different parts of what everybody was showing, and so that kind of helped me through. And then also reading more, not just vloggers, but reading. There was National Geographic, one of those History Channel stuff, and I was on Amazon Prime, reading about, watching movies about the Gambia. I was studying the Mandinka tribes and stuff that was coming from there because part of my DNA has Mende from Sierra Leone as well too. So
Oh, okay.
Mendes and Mali
I
is
still
too.
live in Sierra Leone. That's where I
Oh,
spent
okay,
most of my early childhood.
okay,
Experienced
okay,
the civil war there. It's a beautiful country.
yeah,
Actually, because of the war that's when I moved to Gambia. But you know, that's beautiful. So when you got there to Gambia, you know,
Yeah.
that must have
Yeah.
been a culture shock.
Yeah. When I got to, you know, I say one thing, brother, you know, there was a lot of obstacles presented in my way, you know what I'm saying, as far as even making it here. It's a blessing. You know, I felt like to have that experience, I felt like those airplanes that I was on from Brussels to here, when it was just a lot of African brothers. Actually, you know, when I went from DC to Brussels, it was a lot of brothers from it was from the Gambia on the plane. I sat next to a lot of them, and it was very almost an empty plane. And so I ended up being quarantined with them. As a matter of fact.
Okay. So
Mhm.
wait. So when was the first time you went to Gambia? Because when you say quarantine, so it must be in these recent times, right?
Yeah.
How long have you been out there? I should have asked you that first.
Yeah. It's been about I would say if you subtract a couple of months, it's been a year. You know, because I took a break after my first trip because I wanted to say, you know what, I wasn't sure enough if I was gonna come back earlier, but I made intention. I made intention. We call it Nia. I made my Nia. I made my intention, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and check it out, and I'm gonna go ahead and come back. So, and so I felt like, yeah. So having that paperwork, that land paperwork, saying because they wasn't gonna let me on the damn plane from DC to Brussels without
Really?
something.
Like, is it like why were they trying to stop you?
It was the sickness. I don't want to mention it on there. I heard
yeah,
people
yeah.
get
Oh, yeah. I know. I know. Okay.
okay. Yeah. So they was trying to prevent people from coming based upon that, and they was trying to say like, you know, what purpose you have. I said, well, I have some land. I'm planning to eventually move to the Gambia, and so I showed them the access. They saw the document. They saw it. They said, okay, you go ahead, and so they let me go. And then this other lady was like trying to call me back for another one. I'm like, nah, she already cleared me. Why did she clear you? No, she cleared me. And the lady said, just let him go. So I'm like, there was something confusion. So I got on there on the plane, and then I went to Brussels, and then I met those people, the brothers and sisters who was on the plane with me, and then we was all talking and stuff, and then we got on the plane. Once I got on the plane from Brussels to what do you call it? To the Gambia. I'm sorry, the Gambia. I just heard all these people speaking language. I was sitting next to Gambian brothers, you know, with me. He was, you know, I was on the side of the plane. The side. It was just a two-seater. What I was in, there was 3 or 4 seats in the middle. Then on the other, it's a big plane. And I just hear all these languages and everybody just speaking and stuff. And it was all mostly African brothers from, you know. And so I felt like that was almost like the slave ships that was leaving to the Americas. And, you know, all the languages mixed together, everybody speaking and stuff. And I felt like I was coming back to that. And that's how it was emotional, spiritual to me. And so when I landed, I landed in darkness. The sun has already set. I went
It
through,
was nighttime.
Yeah, it was nighttime. And so, brother. So I was like, and so then my cell phone, it changed to AfriCell. I said, I'm in Africa now. You know what I'm saying? I was happy.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because you started seeing the AfriCell thing. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, man, I'm in Africa. I said, man, I'm here now. I said, I made it. I was like, yeah, it's about 15 years ago. Before that, I went to East Africa, of course. You know, it's not my change, but I always had an inkling to go to West Africa. It was always something that I wanted to do, you know, and I was like, you know, why not, you know, it's this time. So I can't explain it, you know, everything. And so things led to me, you know, coming here. You know, it's like a lot of things that was going on last year with the George Floyd and stuff. And I was, you know, it's like I need a break. I mean, I think I need a break from a lot of things, from hostilities and as well, you know, as part of that. It's like I said, everybody has their own reasoning. Mine's a whole bunch of reasoning. Mine's 100% spiritual, 100% spiritual, and the rest is the things that I mentioned. But it's 100% spiritual.
So,
and I
like,
think,
when you say spiritual, like What, like,
Mm.
can you elaborate on that a little bit
Well,
for
like I
those who would be confused by when you say spiritual, like what you're talking about?
yeah, I feel like it's one of those things that, for me, like we have hijra,
Mm-hmm.
and I mentioned that spiritual. I mentioned that the ancestors prayed. I don't think they didn't say, they were really pleased about what was going on and said, "Look, I'm over here," and they, and I read that certain, and I even seen that they were, if a loved one was taken or something or leaving, they would get the footprint, like the sand underneath the person's foot or their whatever they're riding on, to kind of keep it so they will come back. And so when I'm saying spiritual, I felt like, I think that God, the Most High, whoever you want to call it, or him or she, however y'all want to say, led me back here. And like I said, I just started to have an African diet. I just started going off. I was supporting all these restaurants all through the West Coast. Everywhere I go, I eat Ethiopian food. I'm surprised I'm not in Ethiopia, to be honest with you. I'm
Yeah, I
surprised I'm
mean,
not.
and people, when he said hijra, if you
Yes,
translate, it means
hijra,
pilgrimage.
pilgrimage. Yes,
Yeah. So,
pilgrimage means a
okay,
migration. Yeah,
migration. So when you got there, what was the reception like?
there was. Oh man, you know what? I was the first trip. It was. I felt like it was. How can I say it? It was. The airport wasn't like a hustling and bustling hostile. It was so easy to get into a certain. The brother said, the immigration brother said, "Welcome home, welcome back," stuff like that. And I never been there. You know what I'm saying? And so and it was like I was nervous, of course. And the reason why I
Oh,
was nervous,
you were nervous?
oh man, I was nervous. I
Really?
was nervous
Why?
because a couple of things made me nervous. One is the system from the states that made me nervous, and the other thing was just the feeling like of being in somewhere that's excited me, that I've seen it so much, read it in books, I've seen it on TV, I've seen it in the media and stuff, and now I'm actually being here to see people, that to see the country that I'm now grown to love very much, and another part of it is that, hey, I'm a Muslim revert, convert, whatever you want to call it. I'm coming to I'm not in a system. I'm not working for any. I'm my own man. I'm a civilian. I'm
Mhm.
coming here out of my heart and my love for our people. As far as like trying to learn from learn, because I have an open mind. I said my mom always said you have two ears to listen and one mouth to
Talk.
speak.
Hmm.
Talk. Follow the one with the biggest number. So,
Hmm.
I said, let me listen and learn and watch, because I got two eyes too, And so I felt like, so I was nervous. I said, man, I bet you they probably put something on me, saying, hey, terrorist alert, something like that, or, that's what I was thinking. I said, they're not gonna let me in this country because, it's like people like myself can look looked at both ways. I saw some comments. Oh, he was in the military. He's doing this. He's an insurgent. And
Hmm.
yeah, right. You
Oh,
know what I'm
oh,
saying?
really? You
Yeah, I
heard
see
that?
some
Okay.
people. Yeah, I
Yeah,
read a little
I
stuff.
can see
Just
that. I can see that.
you can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
people can say that and whatever. And then other times, you guys don't know what I've been through.
Right.
Okay, you don't know what I've been through as a Muslim and a black man, dealing with a lot of discrimination and racism. So a lot of people, when I hear stuff like I'm like the last person that anybody will probably um, uh, uh, you know uh, be in that type of situation. And I say this, the reason why is because of my personal experiences in life and dealing. Even the last year I was there, it's horrendous. Issues, man, so that I discussed with my personal, my friends and stuff. But that's the reason why I was nervous. I was like, man, they ain't gonna let me up in here. They're gonna say, because I originally was trying to go to Nigeria too. That was another country I wanted to
Oh,
go to. Yeah,
Nigeria. Okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah.
it's a complete different dynamic there. So they eventually they let you in, and so you didn't get the usual talk where people say Africans hate us. Are you telling me they didn't hate you?
No, I didn't get that at all. I didn't get that at all. The brother's like,
that's disappointing. That's what they always.
man, I don't know. I was like, you know, even when I went to East Africa, it wasn't that either. It was like, hey, you know, you cool, you know. It's like they're like, it wasn't like that. Even if, like when I was quarantined, I was quarantined with a group of brothers and sisters there. Man, we was eating
in the Gambia.
In the Gambia, yeah. They
Let us talk about that. Talk about that.
Yeah, they quarantined us for like a 2 weeks, okay. And so there was I think it was Mandinkas. I think it was mostly Mandinkas that was in our crew. And so for 2 weeks we was like family. We built, and it was telling me all about the country. So those 2 weeks helped me to you know, adjust to the time zone, adjust to the food, adjust to the water, you know, and things like that. So the quarantine, I mean, I offered to pay, they wouldn't accept the money, and I'm like, look, so they wasn't paying the workers because the hotel wasn't open, you know, so I ended up giving the workers money, you know, when I was there. So because they didn't have any source of income, they was just there working on tips and stuff. So I just paid them what I would normally pay what I pay for the hotel salary, you know, for the hotel stay. I would pay for each night pretty much. I was paying more than that, to be honest with you. And then when I try to stay there, you know, and they try to stay there again, I mean, as far as longer, they said this is only for quarantine stuff. So, you know, so that's what happened. But as far as I mean, people were bringing dishes from their homes. People were coming to visit their families. And so I would partake in the good food, the Benajin,
the
Domada, the
Plasas,
peanuts, yeah, chicken yassa, and
chicken
fish.
yassa.
The fish, yeah, chicken yassa. I was really stuck on that word for a long time. So I was like, now I got it mixed. I got it down now because I've been eating it like, you know, what else? And I got my fufu fixed.
I can tell you one thing. Gambian people may not know their flowers, but they sure know how to throw down in the kitchen.
Oh man. I hear you, man.
so then you are in the country, you know, now you're part of, you know, the community there. So how is Gambia? How is living there? Because, you know, it has to be a completely different living because, you know, honestly, as far as I remember, the country, you know, truly it's a majority, it's a functionally illiterate society. So coming from America, not being, you know, used to that, where you know, here in America, everything is fast-paced, capitalist system. We want efficiency, right? So you go to a place where everything is slow, everything, you know, like pretty much the people, they are nice, but we gotta be honest, it's a functionally illiterate society. So how did you get used to that? How did you navigate your way around that, where you could be explaining things to people, but it's so foreign to them? What was that like? How's that like?
You know, I mentioned, I grew up in a impoverished environment part of my life as a child, and so I learned to be humble and having an open mind and to be patient. Those three things really helped me here, and to treat the people like an equal to me, like I'm better than them or anything like that. I consider there's many times I eat off the same plate with the brothers here, you know, and sisters at times. You know, we all have a different people I just meet sometimes, and they like, oh, they get to know you and stuff, and then you go at their house, you eating the food, and you enjoying the conversations and much. And so I felt like if I didn't have that upbringing, and being a Muslim actually helps too. You know, it helps because it's a Muslim country, and I do meet Christians here too, Christian Gambians as well.
Yes,
and
it is Muslim majority people you meet are gonna be Muslim, but there is a lot of Christians too. I'm sure you've seen churches, and you know, you've met Christians there.
Yeah. I met Christians, and you can't really see the difference, and I don't ask for the difference. You know, they say salam to me, and then, you know, and I say
Everyone
salam to them
says
or
that.
whatever. Everybody says it. It's like they don't have a big issue like it is in the States when it comes to Black American Muslims and Black Christians. So it seems to be such a clash all the time. But here it's not like that. So I really enjoy that type of that experience, and that's how a country should be. It
Right.
should have that type of love between each other's faith. It shouldn't be a big divide and stuff. And so I learned a lot about myself in that sense. I've learned to tone a lot of things down. Like I said in the beginning, when I come here on my channel, I was hardcore. I was hitting it hard, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm here. I'm like, I'm like, I don't. Every day I wake up, it's a dream. It's a dream for me. It's a dream come true. I wake up, I'm in Africa. Okay, I spent half of my life, half a century in the States, and now I'm in Africa. So for me to, and now I go. It's time to go pray. I'm praying with the Gambian brothers and sisters in mosque. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I'm fasting with them. I'm doing things. And I do a lot of charitable things out of my heart here as well. I try my best to hire the Gambian brothers and sisters too. Employments and things. The best that I can do. And I felt like if everybody meets for a reason. Like if I had came here, I wouldn't meet these people to learn things that I want to learn about being a Black man, about being an African man. I feel like I'm more of a man here, to a sense, because I don't have, I'm gaining the knowledge of self. I don't have anybody over oppressing me because I have my own business stuff going on too as well.
Oh yes.
And so I feel like
your own business. Okay. Sorry, I cut you off there. I was gonna ask you because I know, like in the Gambia, the electricity and the internet is definitely janky. How do you navigate that? And running your business.
Repeat that one more time.
I said the internet and the electricity, water. They're janky over there. It's like one of those things. Look. You'll be sitting there chilling and boom, the light goes out or what. When I lived there, they didn't have internet back then. Internet didn't even come out, but it's a so like with your business, what type of business do you do over there in the Gambia?
Okay, so first part was the lights and stuff, and that's unfortunate it happens. And I shouldn't really be pleased about. Yeah, I'm used to it. Okay, so you do get used to it, you do get accustomed to it, but I'm hoping that this would change eventually, because it will help the economy a lot more. Things, if there's any spoiled foods, they won't spoil. Backup generators. It's a lot of things that can be positive. I think we all can make a difference. I'm not here to make any changes. I'm here to change myself and to immerse myself here. I'm not here to be a big shot or to be call a big name for myself. I'm not here for that. And like I said, I grew up in sometimes we didn't have water. Water bill wasn't paid. The light bill wasn't paid. We had some candles to burn sometimes. Okay, so it's not like a shock and awe like some other people would come here and they come in here with the expectation. Oh, they don't have this. This is not like in America. Because it's not America. Okay,
right.
So stop saying that kind of crap. You're not in America, okay? And so and you should come here, do your research, and know what's going on before you come here as well. But if you do come, if you think you come in for a good reason, then come and accept. What I'm saying, adapt a little bit and try to make some changes. If you have some issues with electricity, get your backup generator. Do some whatever you can do to make it. Get some candles, get whatever. When my first live that I did here, the person didn't pay the cash power. And so my first live, when I came back to the Gambia the second time, the lights went out, and I had to do a live, but the show went on, with the lights out. Everybody said, oh, he didn't pay his bill, this and that, what I'm saying? But the lights didn't go out because of the power went out because they didn't pay the cash power. But as far as business, I'm not going to disclose the business that's coming up, but I have a tourism business and I have a tailoring business right now. And they both are doing pretty well. And I got about seven employees right now, within that, and more to come, inshallah, God willing. And so I feel, and I have an assistant on call occasionally who helps me. I got 2 people who actually help me film my videos at times, and I pay them too. So, you know, when I'm out and about, when I'm not doing the
Oh,
lives,
these are Gambians.
yes, Gambians. Yeah,
Okay,
Gambians.
okay.
Yeah.
So that's for your YouTube channel, you know. Can you tell the people what your YouTube channel is?
Okay, yeah. It's the Happy Companion African Repack TV. And I have another channel called the Happy Companion Islamic Thought Show. Um, with those channels, the repack is like for Pan-Africanism, okay? You know, Gambians, Africans, the diaspora, we talk about no matter what religions and stuff like that. The reason why I made an Islamic Thought Show, I'm not an imam, I'm not a sheikh, I'm not a mufti, I'm not a ustad, okay? I'm nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I want to bridge the gap of any misconceptions about the faith when it comes to, you know, why do people, why you pray 5 times a day? What is this fasting for? You mean you don't drink water or anything during the 30 days? How you live? You know, I try to not to, you know, it's a little bit of dawah. You give dawah, meaning religious talk, you know, and it's a little dawah involved in it as well. I got 4 panelists that comes on the channel, and so on that channel. So you know, I'm a regular brother. I'm a regular Muslim. I'm not like I said, I'm not a ultra religious guy. I make mistakes like everybody else. Okay, I'm not a. I pray my 5 prayers. I do what I can, the best I can. So and with those um, um, with the channel, you know, with those channels, it's very informative. I feel like it does reach a lot of people, you know. But with the African Repack channel, that's the channel that I really like to engage in more. As a matter of fact, because I like to see the interactions between, you know, the different people and the lives. It's a little bit more because religion is always a little shaky. You know, you got to be I got whatever I say out of my mouth, it has to be, you know, according to the Quran and the Sunnah. It has to be. I can't go shirk billah. I can't go have partners with God. I can't do anything. You know, I have to really tread lightly because I don't want to say something wrong. I don't want to say something wrong on my repat channel as well. I pray before I do every live, before I do everything I do. I do a prayer to make sure that I do everything correctly because I don't want to mislead anyone, you know, or make mistakes. And I pray that I don't make those mistakes. But those channels are a passion for me. You know, it's something that I never was a type of person. You know, even though I was a military officer, you know, I was, you know, and you know, leading people and this and that. I was still a quiet, introverted person by nature. But to come out here and do this thing right here, I don't know what has gotten into me. A lot of people see me now and they say, "What happened to you? Why you just so vocal? You so vocal? You know, you so in it." I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's just
because I'm
something that.
guessing in the military,
Mhm.
they probably have the the God policy about not being on being in the media pretty much. Like
Yeah, yeah,
so like the people there, the people you come in contact with, the Gambian
yeah.
people, um, are they curious about why you left America, you know, to come to Gambia?
Yeah. You know, this one brother, man, one of the brothers, really cool older brother. He know me. He recognized me from YouTube, and he owns a few businesses here. And he said, "To see you out here, man, you leave America for this dusty place, man." He was almost in tears. And I said, "Thank you, brother." You know, I said, "Man, we appreciate what you're doing. You know, you're walking down the street, you're showing people things that average people don't see." And he said, "You left that for this dusty place, man." I said, "To me, it's like paradise to me, to be honest with you, in that sense, in a spiritual sense. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that need to be done, but they're very curious. They're like, because a lot of people want to come to America, you
Right.
know, for that money, for that dream, and for that,
Mhm.
you know, and I understand that. I totally
Mhm.
understand that, you know, and because see, and that's the issue that I see a lot of people. They see, oh, you is over here, you coming with, you know, with you know, American experience, you coming with American dollar, you coming this and that. So, you know, your experience is gonna be different. But I tell you this much, I feel like my experience, I mean, I deserve a lot of things. I work hard for what I've done. Like I said, I grew up in poverty a lot of times. And so to come out of that situation, and then I can see people here, and like I said, I don't judge them and degrade them and downplay them. I see them as a man or woman, you know, as human being, or a brother and sister. Put it that way, brother and sister. And I'm just I'm becoming part of that. I don't, you know. So for me, when the brothers and sisters go to the diaspora from here, I understand the reason why. But I'm hoping that they don't forget what they learned, the culture, and also come back and make differences here. And also, how can I say it? Build you something good here, but get some land yourself, build some things, businesses and things, and build your future because you never know what may happen there. You know,
Right.
a lot of things happen. You know, history tells you things come, things change. We don't know why it does, but it does. So, you know, just don't lose your connection with that. I know I've seen people there 20, 30 years and they never made a trip back. And then they finally like, man, I made a trip back and I'm happy. But yeah, they're always curious. Why you leaving? I tell them, just like I'm telling you all, you know,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why I left, because of that. And they said, oh, man, we're glad to be happy here. We want more of you come. You know, more of you people come. Please come. You know, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying, man. I said, you know, I'm trying on the channel, you know, and you know, and my channel, like I said, it's not to sugarcoat, or if you're not ready to make some move, just take your stuff and just get the heck out. You know what I'm saying? If you, and some people said, I said, make a trip and see how you like it, and go from there. You know what I'm saying? But some people criticize me and saying, oh, if people want to come without taking a trip the first time, let them come. Okay, that's fine. But I'm just letting you know what my suggestion is to make sure, because you don't want to end up 3 months later packing bags and say, you know what, the THC, you know, he said the Gambia, this and that. I was like, look, you know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna have their own experience. Everybody gonna have their own reasons. So come prepared and come with an open mind, and you will be all right. And make sure your families are legit and tight. Okay, make sure they together. You know, don't neglect your families when you bring them over here. Okay, because they will pack their bags and leave. I'm not talking about the Gambia. I'm talking about anywhere. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah.
So I mean, are you I like a long time ago, I knew some people. Are you familiar with the group The Boys back in the days in the 90s? The rap group, The
To that
Boys.
group,
Yeah.
what
They're
was it,
from the
man?
East Coast. No, they were called The Boys because
Yeah, the
there
boys.
was,
Yeah.
are you, because one of them lived, you know, they used to live in Gambia. Hakeem. Do you know Hakeem? He's
They
a
from Carson.
producer out there.
They from Carson, California.
Okay,
The
okay.
boys. The
Yeah,
boys.
The Boys.
I remember the boys. I heard that they were here, or I heard that they were here before they left, or they heard they may still be here. But I don't know. But I heard. I used to watch their videos, and I remember I played on the basketball court where they actually shot one of their videos before in Carson, over there in Carson, California. I think Cal State Dominguez was over there and other places. So yeah, the boys. I heard they were here. Yeah, I heard they
Okay.
came here. Yeah,
So,
I haven't met them yet.
oh, cool. So let me ask you this. So you have a YouTube channel and you're
Yeah.
streaming out from Gambia. There's, you know, a lot of people there who stream, they talk about their lands and stuff. Can you talk about what has been the pros and cons of having your YouTube channel? And also, did you acquire your land before you moved to the Gambia?
Okay, pros and cons of YouTube channel. I say one thing about it is when you first start your channel, make sure you really vet, you know, people who try to be your friend. Okay, I had a lot of positive things. I met some good people, but a lot of times people use you for subscribers. They use you to get close. Some other people are telling them to come and you know, be a moderator for you. Some people moderate for you, you know, because they want to get close to you, and you know, for other reasons than moderating too. You know, a lot of some, like I said, the positive things is that the message that's been sent out is like you're able to write the narrative, your own narrative. You have your own show. You run your own channel. You run things like that. You empower to a certain extent to relay your message how you please, and so that's what positive about it is. You reach a lot of people, and people admire what you do. They criticize what you do as well. I get a lot of emails. I'd rather people send me emails saying, this and that, and criticizing it, than putting on chats and stuff, because a lot of times I can't determine whether or not it's a criticism or it's just a troll. So if you send me something in the email, even tonight, my email is happycompanionbooks@gmail.com. Send me something if whatever you're thinking, and the thing about it is that um, when you on YouTube, your channel grow, so does the drama. There's a lot of envy. That's why I don't put my channel count on my numbers anymore, on my channel anymore, because people start to get jealous or envious, or they say they're cool with you and they're not, and so their agenda is not necessarily beneficial to you. They're not really your friend. They don't like you. So you meet a lot of people on YouTube, and just because they got a channel don't mean they're going to be your friend. Some people have ulterior motives, and so that's what I encountered. I encountered people reaching out to my moderators, people reaching out to other YouTubers. If I do a live with somebody, they'll reach out. They say he's an agent, he's this and that, all kind of BS, because most of them are females that I rejected. They send me emails. I want to marry you, this and that. I said, well, I'm not interested in marrying. And I'm married.
Are you married?
Yes, I'm married to Gambians right here.
You have wife up there? Okay.
Yeah. So I'm Mandinka sister. What I'm saying, full of Mandinka. So I have.
You have two of them or one?
I believe in Islamic
principles,
marriages. Yeah, I believe in Islamic marriages, and I believe that it's a very beautiful thing to be married in Islamically. Okay, that's why I want to put on there. I don't like to discuss everything, but yeah, I feel like that before I had gotten married and stuff, I was getting a lot of spam and a lot of proposals, a lot of this, and some sisters took it negatively, and they went after me on. They said they're going to try to destroy my channel because I rejected them, and so they were looking for stuff. But I still got the emails, I still got screenshots, I still got things, I still got people that they went to talk about me. They sent me their phone numbers and emails and screenshots of what they said to them as well. And so I saved all of them because, they were intimidated because they said, they didn't want me to, they felt that I was a sellout because I married an African sister, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
And I was like,
and they're like pan-Africanists?
Yeah, they call themselves pan-Africanists, and when I said, you just want to marry one of those submissive bitchs, you want one of those Gambian WH, you want, you're a public figure. Remember, you're a public, little threatening stuff like that, and they get my information from other people. I'm like, who is this? And so, and they act like they have true intentions, but their intentions aren't positive. It's positive to a certain extent, meaning that, hey, some of them even say, I'm gonna catch this brother before you get to the Gambia. I'm gonna get with him before you get to the Gambia. They even said it. I got screenshots of that. And then they act like they're and then when I say, I'm not interested in, at that time I wasn't, to be honest with you. I was like, I just went through 21 years. I was married 21 years. And I divorced my ex, and so I wasn't.
She's American.
American Muslim, African American Muslim, yeah,
okay.
Muslim sister, yeah. We cool and stuff. It's nothing bad, nothing like that. I just say, hey, things move on, life moves on, and that's the way it is. And if I didn't do it, maybe she would have done it. You know what I'm saying? So, but my, so I feel like I got my queen here. We doing it, and very good sister who's teaching me a lot, and through this marriage interaction, I'm able to, be with people. It opens a lot of doors for me to emerge with myself. I'm going to different, even besides the marriage, I was already interacting with the Gambians a lot. I was always going to the houses, doing this, eating and stuff, and talking. And now this, I mean, I feel like I'm very blessed to have it. And and when I had announced the marriage on the channel, I got threats from some sisters from the diaspora. Why do you
But
marry me?
some
Why
of
do
them,
you marry
some
me?
of
I'm
them
like,
are
I
up
didn't know who
there.
you were.
Some
Huh?
of them are up there with, because I've seen some videos.
Okay.
It looks like you guys have, there's some of the single reparts there. I mean, I see a lot of ratchetness. I don't know if
Yeah.
you see that in real life out there in the Gambia, and if you do, how do the Gambian people react to that sort of behavior? Because if you remember, I don't know if you've
Hmm.
seen this. I made a video of
Yeah.
one of the older women
Yeah.
over there that when started talking about the frozen chicken over there, because like for instance, like me, I don't know if you're surprised to see like someone who's originally from there becoming a red-blooded American, because
Yeah.
I'm all about America. So
Yeah.
I like Gambia too, but I outgrew that. America is home for now, you see. So
Mhm.
do you run into those other repats over there?
Mm. For me, as I've been in the military and I mentioned on my channel a lot, is that whenever there's um, our people kind of at that time it was mixed with white, black, Chinese, whatever. It's all military overseas, whatever. Um, there's always going to be drama. It's always going to be that people are going to be unhappy, people are going to complain. And so I feel like my interaction is, like I said, is to immerse myself in this society as much as possible, because I don't like to be a part of any the drama or any gossip and rumors. I don't want to be placed in that, because a lot of people bring that nonsense around here, and I feel like, and I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying, but I feel like because I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying all of them, but I feel like we're being um, immature to a certain extent and not appreciating your time here. I think you need to appreciate every second that you're here. And that's what I try to do my best with, the ups and downs, good and bad. So I venture through the VPAC community occasionally, say, hey, hello, everybody, how y'all doing? But my thing, I'm trying to do business this year. I'm trying to
Okay.
employ Gambians. I'm trying to do positive things. I'm trying to be part of the solutions when people require things from me. I'm not forcing myself on people. When people see me and they recognize me, and if they don't recognize me, they say there's something different about you. They get along with me. They don't have that kind of, but they do mean, some people do. Some of the guys mentioned, Gambian guys mentioned, there's a lot of stuff going on here, stuff. And some of the sisters mentioned some things that the brothers kind of disrespectful. Some brothers they lie and say that they're Muslims. They lie and say that they're Fulanis. They lie and say that their last name is Jallo or Cisse, just to get the phone numbers, just to get that. Who's gonna lie about their religion? What
Yeah, that's
man would lie about that?
so another thing, because
Hmm.
I've seen videos where many what they are projecting, showing, you know, I didn't, because from conversation, you don't sound like those people, but many,
Yeah.
they what they are selling on the internet, they are saying they're selling this victimhood mentality that they brought from America. So
Hmm.
how are the people? Because in like the Gambian people
Okay.
will be shocked to see like somebody coming from America, telling them about being victims.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah. I think that when I gather, it's like victim. I want to go to America. I want to be. I'll be a victim tomorrow. Let me be a victim tomorrow. I'll go to America. You know
America.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
Let me
Yeah,
make.
that's what yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Mhm.
And like I said, I understand what they're saying. I understand, what they're saying, and why they're saying it. And I'm not against that. And that's why I say Pan-Africanism goes both ways. It's not like everybody escaping the West to come to Africa. No, I think it's a channel communication, and it's a back and forth thing. You know what I'm saying? So when Africans go to the West and they interact with African Americans, it should be an exchange. It's like, whoa, okay, let me know what you've been through. Let me know what's going on. Am I going to experience the same thing or not? Or maybe not. Maybe you don't experience it. You know, some people have different experiences. Like some people from the diaspora don't experience a lot of racism and discrimination. It depends on where they're at. Depends on where they work at. It depends. You know, it's all a matter of perspective and where they've been.
Yeah. So, did you acquire your land before you went in, or after you got to the Gambia? Like, did you purchase the land when you got there, or prior?
I purchased my land, and I got it. You know, before I got you know to the Gambia the first time. And so, like I said, that was my reason for going. And so,
what part? If you don't mind me asking.
What part in the Gambia?
Yeah.
And I think let me send you something real quick, because so that's what happened in that situation. So a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, but I'm moving forward and doing what I can. So what is the what is it? Okay, right now I'm building on my land. I'm doing some things. I mentioned I got land in Busura. I'm doing that.
Oh, okay.
And I'm building in Busura. So I got my fence almost done. I got all that done. So that's almost in a borehole. It's going to be done. So it's good.
That's beautiful. So you took a DNA test, right?
Yeah.
Like what locations in the West Coast did your DNA show you're related to?
Okay. I purchased my land through Black Sit. Both. Let's just let you know, because I'm making sure that I'll mix that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So obviously your experience was different from other people. We don't need to get into that, but this is about you. It's not about other people. But with your DNA test, because most people, they would take their DNA and it would show them in different areas. So you mentioned Nigeria's, Sierra Leone. Did you, because sometimes the DNA, it would link you to different people. Have you tried to like find people that you might be related to?
Well, like part of that, as far as, like I said, the DNA part was integral when I took the DNA test. I think I took DNA like 2008. You know what I'm saying? So
a while back.
Yeah. So I took I took it a while back. And I'm not saying my experience is different. My experience could be exactly the same as everybody else. But like I said, I don't want to get into drama. Just let you know that.
Okay,
so that's okay.
Yeah, you don't need to. This is about you. Like I said.
Yeah.
So if you can talk about what you want, but as far as like the DNA goes, right? Like I said, did you ever try to because it would show, according to most people, it would show you like maybe people you're related to. Have you ever found like actual individuals that it shows like the relation, and if yes, have you contacted them?
Yes. Okay. 2008, I think 2008, 2009, took a DNA test. I think it was Family Tree DNA, a National Geographic Genome Project. I got a video about that right now.
Oh, okay.
So
on your channel?
Yeah, on my channel. Yeah.
Okay.
It's on my main picture of my channel. So man, it's like part of that, like I said, everything I've been going through in my life, that's part of the thing that I've been experiencing. Okay. Meaning that I went to this situation as far as trying to find out who I am, looking at my features, looking at who I am, looking who in the hell am I. And so we're always told that we're from Africa, but what part of Africa? So the DNA test kind of solidified that. When I first took the DNA test, it said it was very new at that time. So it mentioned Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Jamaica. Okay, it said it went through Jamaica. So it went through Mende tribe, and it went through some
Sierra
other
Leone,
stuff.
right? The Mende tribe. That's it's in Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, like have you been to Nigeria? I didn't ask you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you have.
So yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So this is what happened. This is what happened, man. I was like, man, I spent about 6 weeks there, man.
In
I
Nigeria?
I was going to go to Nigeria before I came to the Gambia, and then I was gonna, as far as Gambia, Nigeria first, and the Gambia, then the sickness we were talking about that prevented me from going there the first time. So I went from the Gambia to Nigeria this year, and so when I took the test, I went ahead and went to. When I took the test, I transferred my information. It's called a raw data to Family Tree DNA. And when I went to Family Tree DNA, I went through a list of people. And so the list of people came up who was exact match to me. It's like they could be like brother or sister or that close relationship on that DNA strand. And it went through my maternal DNA. And so when I opened it up, it had like 10 or 15 people. And when I looked, I saw a picture with a sister with a hijab on. And I said, okay, damn, what is this? I looked at the name. It was like an African name. I clicked on the picture and I clicked on there and showed the tribe, it showed all that stuff. And I was like, I mean, the tribe, the region where it's at.
Right.
And so I end up, because the email, I ended up contacting the person in the email as much as I could. Person didn't respond. I ended up trying to look at the name on Facebook, trying to track it down, ran into like 3 or 4 people names. And eventually I seen something that was, I looked at some friends on there and I contacted one of the friends on the DNA test, on the family tree, on the Facebook friend. And the Facebook was like, she's like, well, the sister answered email. We kind of got on WhatsApp and she's like, well, I can't really talk to her. I can't. Yeah, that's her. I showed her the picture from the family tree DNA.
So you eventually found the lady.
I found a lady, a friend of the lady.
Oh, okay. She said,
she said, I said, where you at? She said, this is Kano, Nigeria. I said, she lives in Kano. I thought it was, I thought it was Benway, because that's what it says on the thing. But she said, no, this is not the middle belt. She's in Kano. So I'm like, damn. And she said it's hard to contact her because it's really strict religious and stuff, and I don't know how to do it. So eventually I sent the email again. I let her look. I took a test, DNA test. I'm a Muslim brother. I found out I'm not here to do your family any harm. I'm here from by my heart. I'm trying to find out my ancestors, who I come from, who I am. Then finally she replied and said, brother, salam alaikum. So I said salam to her. Yes, you are our cousin. And I was like, well, she told me, she said, man, she said, brother, we can tell when I see your picture, you look like a lot of us. I said, really? She said, and she sent me a picture of her daughter. Her daughter was about my age. And and I was like, damn. I was like, and she took a picture side by side. It's like, man, looked like me when I was a kid. And then she started telling the stories about the tribe, where it was coming from, the tribes, many tribes. We got Fula, Hausa, Tiv. We kind of mixed up. And so I was like, okay. And so when you took your DNA, you'll see some Fula. You probably see some of that in you, and especially Tiv. So Tiv was one of it. So I went.
Tiv, that's another tribe.
Yeah, Tiv is a tribe in Benway, Middle Belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was like, how can I say it? So I said, I got to take a visit. So we was communicating. I went to LA, got me a visa application, paid for it and stuff. Then the visa application thing closed. And I'm like, because of, visa place closed because of the consulate, whatever, it closed because of the sickness. And I was like, oh man, so how I'm gonna do this? So I still kept the documents, the payment that I paid. And so, because I was gonna go to Nigeria, then go to the Gambia. So I ended up going to the Gambia first. And then I ended up going from there. I went to the Nigerian embassy, the Gambia. My cousin there, he wrote a letter for invitation letter. And it's like, so I went there. I was able to go. And so when I went, um, um, I feel like, I love the Gambia and I love Nigeria, and it's like a toss up sometimes between it.
Yeah,
but I tell you this much.
What's the I mean, I've never been to Nigeria. It's a huge country, obviously it's different from Ghana. Like, what's the what's the culture? Is it a huge difference in the cultures?
Yeah, I say one thing. It's more laid back here in a lot of sense. Well, when I went to my ancestral villages, laid back as well. So the ancestral villages was laid back. So I felt like this is like a hidden paradise, to be honest with you. You got the beaches, you got all that stuff going on here.
Over in Nigeria?
No, in the Gambia.
Okay, yeah.
Nigeria is just big and huge. It has a lot of Nigeria's big and huge. It has a lot of it has its own aircrafts. They go within the country. They just don't fly in the country and out of the country. They fly in the country.
Within
so it has
Nigeria.
its own airlines. Yeah, international. So when I went there, I went to Abuja, got the quarantine again. They quarantined, a few days there. Then I went to Kanu, where I met my cousins, and it was out of this world, bro. I mean, it was.
What was that like?
Yeah, man. It was amazing, man. She met me with her brother and another relative, and as soon as they saw me, I felt like they were part of me, man. I felt like all these times I was wondering who in the hell I am, and I found out who I was, man, at that time, and it was like anybody I meet, my cousin's family, like I do right now, and I don't want to get emotional, man, but I just felt like
it's getting you choked up, like I can tell you really, feel it. It's okay, brother. It's okay.
my man, I met a lot of people there that was related to me, and they didn't treat me like a DNA cousin, brother. They treat me like family, bro. Every day they cook the meals for us. When we go to the house and eat. Then we go in the tuk-tuks and go to the malls. We go to these different places. And so I spent a few weeks there in Kano, bro. And then I met the little niece who looks like me. She's like my little niece. I'm like, man, and she gravitated. Everybody thought she's my daughter. That's how, it was like amazing. And then I felt like, when Alex Haley went to
Jufre in Gambia.
Yeah, and he says, and it took him 12 years to find out whose Kunta Kinte was, because he remembered his grandparents talking about the ancestor from the Gambia, who was captured by taking a drum, and he was looking for a drum, and then when he went to the island, when he went to Jufra, and he saw the griot, the people who were storytellers, and then they said, yeah, one of our ancestors, he was looking for a drum. His name was Kunta Kinte, and they said, and we never saw him again. He said, what? That's him, that African, and it's like that's stop it. And so he found out that way. But with the DNA, because I said right now, and what happened, the reason why she took that DNA test, because her husband's as a biologist or something, and they were in.
That's your cousin. Relative up there, your cousin up in Kano.
Yeah. So they were like, they were, and so she was like, I take the test because he was dealing with that type of work. And so they was in Asia for a few years. And then that's why she took the test. She wasn't going to take it. She said, I take the test, why not?
Yeah.
So she took it and look what happened. You know what I'm saying? If
It
she
was
hadn't
meant
took
to
that
be.
test, it was meant to be, brother. And so
Because if
when
you
I
if
went,
you what you're saying here, right? This
yeah,
reminds me because you're right there, you've seen all this, and how do, like, when you hear people that come online, for instance, like black people in
yeah.
America, that say, man, the slavery never happened, we're not from Africa. Like, how do you respond to that? Like, you were right there physically
hmm
seeing all this. Like when you hear them say this, like, how do you even respond?
You know, when they say I'm not from Africa, you mean, or?
No, there are people who say,
Mhm.
oh, this, like, oh, we're not from Africa, like saying,
Oh, I got you.
they're saying like the slavery
The Native
never
Americans
happened.
and stuff.
Yeah, Native Americans and stuff like that.
That's to me, and I'm speaking frankly on that. I think that's an insult to all our ancestors who suffered. I think 10 million of us went there throughout the diaspora, mainly in Brazil, and all the things that, because I had one of them come on I was with AUF, Africa United Force, and I was on her live recently, and I'm particular about lives I get on now. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mhm.
very particular about that.
As you should.
Yeah. And so I'm glad that you know, I like the way I say this. I think that kind of stuff is kind of like, as I said, it's a disrespect about what happened to us. Even though it was years ago and things happen, there's still an effect on it. That's why when we come here, a lot of us, like myself, we need that type of healing. Okay.
I can see it.
So
Like you get choked up, when you start talking about, because you were on a roll. So when you started talking about Kano meeting your long lost cousin, I totally see it. Like you started. It's like you started you got choked up. I can only
yeah, brother.
imagine what you were like when you were there physically the first time, meeting them. I can only imagine what you were feeling.
Yeah, man. It's like when I was in Nigeria, I blended in more easily, like there, meaning that when people hear me talk, that's the only time they knew I was. And when I talked, they was like, "Oh, your parents, what part of Nigeria your parents from? They must be from Kano, or they must be from this area." They can look at my face and stuff, and they can kind of figure it out, And so that's what I experienced. But they never would guess that I'm not Nigerian. They always say you're Nigerian. They would never say that I wasn't Nigerian, but I was probably raised in the West somewhere. I was raised in, somebody said the UK at one time. Somebody said this. So, but they took me to the ancestral villages, and I was able to see. They actually gave me my tribal name called Gotar. Gotar means the king.
What
It's
is
like
it
a
called?
Tiv name. Gotar,
Oh, oh, okay,
Ngotar,
okay.
and and it means the king. And they had a big celebration the last day I was there. And that's when on my videos you see me doing a little dance and stuff. It's called the Swang dance, and so I was doing that. So
That's nice.
I tell you this much. Like I said, you talk about, like I said, I want to see, when you go to the America and you see African Americans, do you feel connected to them or disconnect? How do you feel about it?
Oh, you know, I don't, there's no like disconnection, to be quite honest, because like I said, I
Mhm.
used to work in the prison. So usually when I come on my lives, when I'm talking, you have some people trolls that say, "Oh, Afridamus hates black people in America," but they don't even understand. When I worked in the prison, you know, the black people that are there, youngsters, all of them, like they gravitate towards me. I'm telling you, like even like looking for, I'm talking real life advice, they come
Mm-hmm.
to me. They don't even though I'm in the uniform, most of them, they don't look at me that way. Like I'm talking, they would, you know, they would have issues. I'm talking personal issues that has nothing to do with the job. They want advice, they would come to me. So absolutely, there's that connection, even outside, because I'm able
Yeah.
to give the advice without them being super offended. Some would be, you know, try it, and I just treat them like I'm their uncle, plain and simple. So yeah, most definitely. Even the ones that say, "Oh, they are Indians," whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just look at it like, okay, you don't know what you're
Okay.
talking about, but you know, whatever.
When I took the DNA test, I do have like 2% Native American or something like that, and it's from Peruvian, Bolivian area.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
not shocking.
that's not. I mean,
Mhm.
it happens, but you know, in you know the Native Americans, I believe they came from the Bering Strait from Russia, all the way
Mhm.
through Alaska, down through North America, through Central America, all the way through the Chile. So that's how they came. The Asiatics, they're Asians, to be honest with you. You know, that's why
Right.
they call them Indians. That's why they call them Indians.
Mhm.
Okay, we may have some similarities. I mean, I mean, that's deep conversation because I'm not that versed in it. But the thing that I know of is that the dress and the dancing, some of it's similar. The huts and things that they were living in, the spears, the arrows, is very similar. So we did have a lot of interaction with them, the Native Americans, so-called, we want to call them, prior to Columbus even coming to so-called discover America. There was facts that we Africans were over there prior to slavery and things, and just like the Vikings and from uh, the
Because
Norway and Sweden and all that.
they traveled around, you know, because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I read somewhere where, I don't know if you've heard this, um, Mansa Abubakar from the Mali uh, Empire.
Okay.
You know, he took, you know, several ships, boats with his men. They, you know, traveled across the Atlantic. You know, I don't know if you've heard that story before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, I
Yeah,
mean,
they did a lot of traveling, like you said. I mean, there's similarities. I've seen pictures as far as like the tribal dresses. I've seen it. You know, even the Aborigines and things like that. I mean, I can't really, like I said, I had somebody criticize me when I was on AUF. Uh, Not criticize me per se, criticize, you know, saying that I think they got on my channel. The guy got on my channel. You know, I didn't block them. Most of the time, I have subscribers only on a chat room to avoid trolls. You know, and you know because it interferes
with the
with the
conversation.
live with the conversations and throw you off, try to throw you off because the trolls to me when I see a lot of stuff they are the agents to be honest with you.
Oh,
So you know
I have a way of ignoring them. So,
yeah,
you
yeah, I
know,
understand.
because you know, like even today, I'm, you know, every now and again I'm seeing glimpse of some people that are trolling, but it's about the conversation that we are
Of
having.
course.
You know, they can, you know, they can troll all they want, but there are
Yeah.
lots of people here who are definitely here to hear your experience, you know, what you know have to say, because there are some who are looking to embark on the journey that you are on.
Yes, of
So
course.
your message would definitely, you know, help them out. I don't know, like I don't pay the trolls no mind, but eventually if they're getting out of hand, I guess I'll have to, you know, mod up some people who are truly about the information, so they
Yes,
can
yes,
start,
yes.
you know, keying them out. I'll have to eventually give ranges to a few people to control what goes on in the chat room. But I'm gonna let's segue into businesses.
Okay.
Businesses, because you mentioned you're doing business in the Gambia. What how's that going, and what type of business is it? Because you mentioned tailoring, the tailoring and the tourist
Yes,
one.
tourism.
So do you do
Yes.
like the tourist trips, or you have like restaurant, or or like
Mhm.
Airbnb or anything like that?
Not that advanced as far as that. Thinking it's like a concierge. I think that's more like a concierge or something like that. Um, we do trips. We go to Kute Kinte, Roots Island. That's one of them.
Jufre.
Jufre, man. We go there.
Hey, do they still have the fort over there in they call it Fort Blen, is in Bara? Do they still have that
Yes.
fort? Okay.
But they're not touring there for some reason. We're trying to add that on to the tours because that was the fort that actually tried to abolish the slavery. I think that's what
Right.
when slave. Yes, that was the fort they placed there to when slavery
To
was abolished
stop.
to prevent slave trade.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, but it's not being utilized. So we're trying to incorporate that into the business. How I ran into these guys, man. Good people, bro. I got a driver who goes to. Okay, first of all, I met the two brothers, they're Mendinka brothers, and just happened to do a tour. They caught me at the the Albert Market, and I was like doing some shopping and say, hey,
Down in Banjul.
Banjul, man,
So
Banjul.
wait a minute. So you're not going. So you're shopping in the market with everyone. You're not going to the supermarket where
Oh
the
man, I
food
don't do
would
that.
be frozen and all. So you just okay.
Yeah, we get the fish from Tangi Market.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, we get the fresh fish from there, skin it and all that stuff.
so you're all the way in. You're a local.
As much as I can, brother. I mean, with my limits, because I know I'm still, I can't say. I mean, I'm there. I still have what I come from. I still have that in me. Of course, that it's
Right.
always going to be
Of
part of
course,
me. That's why I throw up.
you're not gonna just give up yourself. That's because that's what I was
Yeah,
telling people. Like is
yeah,
for me it's hard for some to believe that you can just all of a sudden erase who you are. You can learn new stuff and add it onto what you have, because your past experiences is what makes you who you are today.
yes,
So
yes.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, but what I'm saying, I try to merge my. Like I said, I didn't come here. I come here to learn. I come here to forget about a lot of things that it don't have to be modern to me as much as I would like. When I was in Nigeria, okay, that was fine. Everything was even they had power outages there in Kano sometimes. Even in when I went to Benue village, but Abuja, I didn't encounter any of that. But it's still it was you have the mixture of both worlds. But like I said, when I met these brothers, they showed me around in the Albert Market. They give me I'm like, man, you guys are good, So and I ran into them again when I took some subscribers there, and we went into the Albert Market. I say these guys are good, so I kind of reached out to them. I said, what's going on? How come you're not doing a business legit? They said, man, every time somebody say they're gonna do a business with us, they promise stuff and they don't come through. They just make empty promises. So really, okay, let's go have lunch. Okay, so we had lunch at one of the local Gambian cafes in the Gambia in Banjul. So we sat down, broke bread. I said, let's get a plan. Let's get a plan. Let's see what we can do. And we did it. It's like one step at a time. We did it. We organized it. Said, what can you do? Both of them have up 40 years of tourism experience, but they were laid off because of what? The sickness thing. They was laid off because of that, man. So, and I'm like, even some brothers and sisters of the hotel that I was helping with, one of them is one of my assistants when I need him for things. I kept in contact with him when I came back the second trip, and so I need him for translation. I need him to take anything to help me with some business negotiations. I take him with me. I said, hey, I'm trying to get this done. Will you help me with this? He said, yeah, go ahead and do it. And I got him, pay him a little money. You know what I'm saying? And so the people are very happy that they are working when they weren't working. And then what I try to do, I try to give them as much experience. I say, maybe one day you'll own your own tourism. You get enough things, you do your own tours eventually. Then I just hire somebody else and you hire somebody, you do that. That's how I try to inspire and empower them to do it, not just to be working for me.
You're showing them,
Yeah.
So is the government, for instance, are they taking any initiative to try to help in that area to maintain, like those historical sites, because I mean,
yes,
they're pretty important. So like even around the beach there, I remember, like around Albert Market, like in Banjul there, as far as I know,
yes,
the beach, the water was receding back. Are they doing anything about that? I mean, as far as
as far as I know, as far as the arch, the arch,
uh-huh.
they're renovating that. There's actually a museum not too far from there, and we part of the tour we go into there. But that arch is like almost a 40-minute type of tour itself. It's humongous in there. It's like 5 floors of things. So they're doing a lot of renovations. I think they're trying to get they put more into that because it's Banjul's a nice city, and I can see it remind me of almost like downtown Long Beach, now, without the big buildings, but it's like wherever you go, there's buildings, there's businesses, the industries, the port, it's a seaport. They got, the restaurants. You can imagine if it has a lot of potential there. So if they really create it as a touristy restaurants, you take walks with your family or your loved ones, and on a dates, whatever you're doing, it's a thing. You can walk by the beach. But as far as the beach, I'm not sure about that. But I know on Kuta Kinte Island that they do have things to preserve the island because it shrinks every year. It was twice as big. It was just to be 3 times as big as what it is now. So they're trying to preserve it as much as possible. So those tour guides they are very helpful, and we have a driver there. We have a boat driver. He's part of my team as well. And so and they have T-shirts. The Happy Companion Tours Discover the Gambia.
Okay.
So if anybody comes to the Gambia, you want to take a tour, we go to the crocodiles, we go see the monkeys. You can do a lot of things. We're going to try to and make it more pleasant. And I think part of repatriation process or Pan-Africanism is to show the city, to show the things that's going on in there. Because when you come here, like I said, I really want to go to Jufra, but it was during the sickness area and I couldn't go. But I wanted to see Kuta Kinte Island, Jufra. I wanted to see all that in Jufra. There's a restaurant.
You haven't been up there yet?
Yeah, I know. I've been there. Several times. Yeah, I've been there several times, and it's.
Yeah, and I was saying, what back in the days, we took a school trip there when I was in, I believe, middle school, to go check it out. It was many moons ago, but yeah, that's beautiful. So what's your customary base like, as far like with your trips? Is it mostly reparts, or it's open to all types of tourists?
It's open to all types of tourists. Like I said, there's a lot of Gambians. There's a lot of people that actually go on the tours as well. I don't say blacks only, colored only. You know what I'm saying? That's not that's not the type of thing that I would encourage at all. But I think for a repatriation process, it's a good kind of healing to see that type of have that type of experience, because a lot of people really don't know what the Middle Passage was, what happened on Roots Island before our ancestors got on those ships. They don't know that. And it's kind of interesting for the non-African, you got white people, whatever, to see that themselves too, because I think it's for them, because a lot of times they don't really know what their ancestors did. You know, as far as they know, but they don't see it, experience it. One of the tour guides told me that there was some white people who cried and they apologized there for whatever their people did. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a healing process for that. You know, like, and I mentioned, like I said on my repat thing, you know, hey, I'm a black man, straight up. I'm down with black. This is not black power. This is black unity. Okay, so I'm down for that. But like I said, I don't want to make the same mistake Malcolm did. Malcolm said, you know, when a person said, "How can I help you? I'm white. How can I help you?" He said, "You can't." And then in his book, he mentioned, he said, "Why did I say that? Why did he say that? He shouldn't." You know, it's like you don't. I mean, there's people behind the scenes that are, and not everybody on my channel is melanated. They're black. Trust me, I know that for a fact.
Right.
And so, you know, and I need them to see what we experience. They need to see the experience. You may not experience, or like I said, there's different type of experience everybody can experience. I'm not saying every day I was in the United States, I was getting discriminated. There was people cracking me on the whip and blah 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 blah. I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying there is an alternative. There is a place that you can go to, that you can invest, that you can rebuild. You can do businesses. You can do things that, because people never, you know, you have all these other races and religions and faith. You know, people coming here doing businesses, doing good things. I said that the Aspergers can actually benefit and be beneficial to the society, as long as they are here to learn and not to be another colonizing
colonizing force. Yeah,
force.
you know, it's interesting. Throughout this conversation, usually what I would hear many say, I didn't hear you say that, you know, one time. You went there, you open your stuff, and you're open to the competition with all other groups. You're not blaming the group, saying, "Oh, these people are here taking over." You know, you're like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm doing this." So, like, you got the tourism thing, you got the trip thing, you have the tailoring. Do you have more stuff, you know, in the pipelines for your future goals?
Yes, I have more businesses that will be opening shortly. Stay tuned for those. You know, like I said, I don't like we have haters, brother, and shout out to the queens out there. And I mentioned it on the video too. They're gonna hate. Yeah, exactly. And I don't want nobody. And all my businesses are registered. I go to the Ministry of Justice and get all my businesses registered to operate what I do. It's nothing. I don't skip anything. I don't cut corners. I make sure, and I sign contracts with every one of my employees about the rules of what you're going to do, your salary, all this stuff is already there, so they know what to expect. There's no slave labor, no mistreatments and stuff like that. I don't condone that, and I want people, and then we do the prayers together. You know, saying it's time to pray. We go pray. We do the prayers a lot. You know, and it's open to any faith too as well. The businesses, you know, and for the Gambian brothers and sisters, no matter what faith you are, when I get it open, you coming. And most of the people who contact me when I open jobs, they are sometimes they're laid off, or you know, because of this or that, and I happen to know them for somebody. You know, I don't take referrals for the most part, because like you said, and I mentioned it on there, because people are actually just trying to be nosy and trying to get their own people in there to you know, to cause havoc and stuff like that. So I take referrals from the people that I employ and say, who you know somebody, because I pick good people and I want them to pick good people. You know what I'm saying? Instead of somebody, I don't care if that's per se, hey, I know such and such. I don't care who you know. I don't care. I want to know who my family here know, who and their friends and people who employ me. Majority of them aren't even family at all. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, family, marriage, and family. And like I said, shout out to the queens who actually was respectful to me and who didn't cause problems for me. I wasn't trying to put you all in a bubble, okay? There was some, I'm talking about the few Aspirant sisters who was causing me issues because of rejection.
Are you surprised that, you know, some of these people were like, they were literally were able to to bring that shenanigan across the Atlantic?
No, it wasn't a surprise. Like I said, I've seen that kind of stuff before. It's not, the drama and as far as like, I call it plantation drama. That's what I call it. On my channel, I call it all the time. Coming with the slave mind, you lose all the things that you got to really come. And as I said, spiritually, you got to come spiritually first. You know what I'm saying? You got to come with the humbleness and open-mindedness. You don't gonna be treating these people any kind of way and talking to them any kind of way and badgering them and making them feel like a second-class citizen in their home, in their own homeland. Let me tell you something. We are guests here. We are residents here. They can revoke our residency at any time. I don't care if you got a home. I don't care what the hell you got. You disrespect people too much and you get under the radar. I don't care how much money you got, whatever clout, you will be get the boot up out of here. And I can see that. I can see that happening. I can see that happening, and it's a potential of big issues can happen if people don't control their ways, in a lot of ways. And that's why I distance myself. People don't do videos with certain people no more. There's a reason why I don't do videos with people a lot of times. The collaborations isn't going to be done anymore. Once you betray me, or once you act like a fool, have immoral issues, moral issues, and any kind of issues per se, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be part in my circle. My circle is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's going to get smaller and smaller and smaller as time goes. I blocked a lot of numbers. I blocked emails. I kicked people who want to be members of my channel who dog me out and stuff. You're not going to be a member of my channel. Get off my membership. You don't need to see my videos. You need to see this and that. I'm just saying, it's people become very childish on these streets here. This is not. We the only people who are having all these kind of issues and bickering and this and that.
Right.
Everybody else is just okay. They're doing commercials. They're doing business. They're making money. They're doing this and they're doing all. But we are catfighting and acting like fools. And I say, and I try to handle my business and issues offline as much as possible. Right. Even when my name get caught up on this and that, I still try my best not to reciprocate that, because I don't want to get caught up in stuff like that. And so people come in here, like I said, I made several videos out there. Respect the Gambia, man. Okay, you want to come home with the right mindset. Come home with maturity. Come home like you got some damn sense. And don't come over here thinking you're gonna just take over and dominate and all this, man. Hey, yeah, I'm here to learn.
I've heard people say they're going to dominate. They're gonna get automatic citizenship. Like, do you care about that type of stuff? Like wanting to have automatic citizenship, like conditioning the people there for that? Because it sounds, like obviously you're there, you feel right at home. They didn't hand you the citizenship, but whatever. But it's a process. Like, yes. Do you care about like people who try to force it to say we want automatic citizenship? Like how I mean, I don't know. Like,
go ahead.
How do you feel about that? Do you care about that?
I mean, I think that you have the Holocaust. You have the Jewish Holocaust. Anybody go to Israel, if they can get, I don't know how the citizenship process, but they have a way. If they step on there, they can get it. Blah blah blah. Okay, there's a way and method. I'm pretty sure there's some vetting processes that are going on as well. You can't let some child molesters and pedophiles and stuff like that, just become, whatever. I'm not just using those rapists, murderers, people with criminal activities. There has to be a process that will allow people to, just like in America, what I'm saying, if you're a resident, you can use a residency by certain, I think it's crimes of multitude or something like that. It's something that if you commit some heinous crime or something, you can get your residency revoke it. So in that sense, I think that I'm for a certain point of it, meaning that it can be. I think that what people are trying to do, they're trying to get the most highest, toughest law possible, and then if it goes lower than that, but I'm meaning that okay, well, okay, I'm gonna shoot for automatic citizenship, but it takes. But then again, they said, nah, let's do, instead of 15 years, let's do 10 years, let's do 7 years. I think that's what it is. But as far as it's like you have to be. It's a very tough word to use. I think
Yeah,
it's
well,
a tough word to use. Yeah.
I mean, because you're doing stuff there, things are running. If I were you, I wouldn't wish for automatic citizenship, because guess what? If they give that, right, think about, you know,
Yeah.
all your probably or your haters. They're gonna come. They're gonna have the citizenship and have the same power as you, and disrupt things. The hood is gonna come.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
if they base it on like merit vetting process, over time, they would be able to weed all that out, because
Yeah.
then because you would definitely be away from the hood, because
Yeah. Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
gonna come. Have you thought about that part?
Of course. I mean, like I said, it took me, I mean, thank goodness I was good in school. Like I mentioned, and I had girlfriends and that were like, hey, let's go out to the movies. Let's go do this. Let's go to the bowling alley. Let's go have fun, instead of hanging on the streets. And so that kind of helped me out. And I did hang on the streets a little bit too. I was a teenager, you know what I'm saying? I'm from East Side Long Beach. So, I wasn't some chump running around. I was handling the business. I wasn't getting punked and stuff like that. I know how to fight. I was one of the best fighters out on the block, you know what I'm saying? And I got beat up too, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, I had challenges that, up and down. So for the most part, I can say that to give anybody a passport because you're black or whatever, or because there has to be a limitation on that. You have to have some
Right.
vetting process on there. It can't just let every Joe Blow in the country and say, I'm going to do that. Like I said, the word is kind of a strong word. It's to get things done automatically. Like I mentioned on my live, I mentioned the vetting process should start in the diaspora. There
Right.
should be vetting process, learning who the president is, learning the culture, learning what tribes are, learning the infrastructure, learning the schools. Are there schools available? Okay. If there's no schools available, that people will want to send. I heard the kids are getting. Sometimes the kids get bullied at schools or here. They're like diaspora. They're not having a good time at school. Sometimes they be called to Bob, to this and that. So they're having a hard time, stuff like that. But sometimes they think that school curriculum
over in Gambia.
Yeah, some people would mention that sometimes they, and I think when I went on your channel that one time we had an internet issue, there were people who were saying that you had mentioned Tubab, what it really means and stuff. So I had
Right.
different variations of that. Occasionally I'm calling Tubab every now and then they look at, so they don't really know. As I get more melanated and stuff, this African sun, which is giving me good energy, man, here, bro. I feel like sun is going to be everywhere, but I just feel like a little different because I'm here. It makes a difference for me. It's like, so there is some issues with that sometimes, is that everybody expects it to be like America, and you're not coming to America. You're
Right.
coming to a different country. So so I believe that vetting process should start before you even get there, to make sure that, hey, you're not someone who's a drug dealer with stuff like that, or maybe you came over, maybe 20 years ago you did something stupid. Okay,
Right.
is that the type of person you is right now? But
No.
if you recently went to prison and got out after selling 20 kilos of coke and got caught by an undercover cop, now you want to come and get a passport from? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think
Right.
that should happen. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because we talk about Black unity, we talk about this and that, this and that. Black unity is a theory, it's a wish, it's a hope, it's inspiration. Man, people haven't been getting along for years,
Right.
thousands of years. White, black, green, yellow, orange things. They fight in Europe all the time. Tribalism. Hey,
Absolutely.
the British don't like the Irish. The British don't like the French. The French don't like the Russian. This and that. It's all these people are all fighting. So it's a fantasy to a certain extent, but is it a possibility? it's a potential if we have faith and you inspire to try to do it, to accomplish it. But we as any people, there's no unity in there. Even when we was in a slave trade, whatever, they were fighting over land. The Europeans were fighting over us and fighting over what land, and they having wars over that. Everybody thought all the Europeans was all together just taking slaves and this and that. No, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? They were fighting over territory. They were fighting over the the territory, forts. Certain forts been formed, handed over to different European nations over the 400 years of the slave trade. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like one fort, even in the different forts in Ghana, and I think it's called Adima fort over there, slave castle. So yeah, I think that's a good type of theory, but I don't think it should be looked at. When people bring things like that, it should be carefully looked at and broken down to what are you saying. And I think that's what causes a lot of confusion, is because it's like, yeah, we come from, yeah, I would love to get a stamp and say, hey, you know what, you're part of this, the Gambian and stuff, but to give me a passport is very, because you don't know me, okay? You don't know me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just like, you go to any country in the European, in the Caribbeans and stuff, they're not going to throw a passport to you.
Yeah, even like America, for instance. Okay, before I'm going to ask you this question, before people, come on, you're enjoying this conversation, hit the like button. Do not treat me like a side chick, okay? I keep saying this, a side chick or side dude.
Yeah.
Hit the like button. I know you're enjoying it. Just, it just takes 1 second, click off from the chat and hit the like button. Like it or don't like it, but either way, hit something so that, this can be spread out. But I'm going to ask you this. Yep. How do you feel about America?
You're gonna come up with that question? Now, that's cool.
You cannot come to the Afridamus report without receiving that question.
I'm in a hot seat, man. I'm in a hot seat. I think everybody enjoying this hot seat. THC is in a hot seat. Afridamus report. Before I say this, like I said, please subscribe to this channel. Please share this video. Please share his videos. Please support this brother. I think he should have at least 1,000 subscribers by tonight. Hook him. If you subscribe to my channel, subscribe to this brother's channel. That's all I got to say with that. I mean, not all I got to say, but that's what I'm trying to get the point, man. I wouldn't be on this show if I didn't think that this brother's legit and he has a lot of things. He carefully analyzing. I'm going to be on a lot of cutouts and clips probably somewhere. That's fine. That's part of being in the game. You know what I'm saying? I expect that. I've been in little clips recently. I just let it go. You know what I'm saying? But that's fine. But I tell you this much: the brother breaks down stuff very carefully and he's very analytical. And he's from the continent and he actually lives in the diaspora. So he knows the best of both worlds. And I say that, and that's what we need a lot of from people who have that worldwide experience, travel experience, and that who can give you the information from a viewpoint that's based on experience and being on the ground in different places. And so now the question, I love America. I do. I'm a patriot still. Okay. I'm patriotic. I served. Okay. All right. I swore an oath. Okay. I still abide by that oath. I'm not going to be some type of I'm not an agent. I'm nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that I'm not the problem that I did have. I love a lot of the freedoms there. Okay. A lot of people who are in Islam, Muslims, I mean, who come to America, sometimes they feel more freer to practice their faith because some countries that are Islamically they restrict them and they have problems with it. You know what I'm saying? Me, on the other hand, I feel both. I feel like I was strong as a Muslim in America because I had challenges there. But when I came here in Gambia, it's like I'm being blessed and being rewarded for all the problems that I had, and I didn't have all problems there. I like, just like where I'm from, even though I'm from Long Beach and stuff like that, there's a hard times. I do like to go through the neighborhood, sometimes old neighborhoods, see my old friends and things like that. I like, the jobs that I had, the careers. I love serving. When I was serving, I was always honorable. I had honorable discharges from time, this and that. I felt like I was, um, I have integrity. Okay. I treated people no matter what race they were, no matter what ethnic group they were. I treat them as the only thing that mattered was what color was the uniform, not the color of their skin. Okay. I show no favoritisms. I show anything like that. The problem that I don't like is that, discrimination. Okay. I don't like that from anybody. Okay. And I mention that a lot of times on my channel too. So I don't like that. But white supremacy, I don't like it. Skinheads, Nazis, I don't like them. Okay. You don't like me. You don't like me because of my color of my skin. I don't like you because you don't like the color of my skin. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like you because I don't dislike you because you're white. It's your theory behind it.
Right.
That's what I don't like.
You don't like the ideology, like the thought process.
Yeah, I don't like that thought process. And how can I say it? The practice of the thought process, meaning that I mean, you can think it all you want, but when you start making action on it, and you worked in law enforcement, I worked in law enforcement, I worked in military, I did it, what I'm saying? If when certain people go into these careers, they go on with a reason to disrupt you. I mean, to go after black people and minorities. A lot of times they do that. Okay, not all of them. Like I said, I don't like those parts. The negative part, those are the negative part. Like I said,
right.
I have friends who, like I said, who still contact me, who send text message me, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I was a supervisor, man. You were the best supervisor. For us as black people, man, I say one thing. A lot of us black people, man, we have compassion when it comes to being in upper management and lower management. We're compassionate, and we feel for people. We care, but some people, they don't show that. Some people who they don't have that. Did I say some? I didn't say all of them, okay? But some people,
I always say it this way: not all, but most.
Yeah.
You like that?
It could be, yeah. It could be some. It could be most. It could be both. Yeah, like I said. But that some of it really caused a problem with me, especially when the George Floyd stuff like that. I don't like that part of America. I don't like racist cops. I don't like bigotry. I don't like that. Even in my careers, I don't like if someone's gonna jack somebody because they're white or because they black. I don't, or because they Mexican, you're gonna pull somebody and dog them out, and because you profiling people. I don't like profiling. I think that I don't like when I go into a shopping store, and I had issues when I'm going to my bank there. They ready to push the alarm button, the police come. You know what I'm saying? And so I think a lot of it's due with ignorance, is due because of how they were raised, and it's because of the media and things like that. Same with continental Africans when they come to the West. Sometimes that media stereotypes can affect them as well. Just like we were affected about the continental African brothers and sisters. We're thinking that they're just hungry, starving, they don't have nothing to eat. That they're swinging on trees, they're monkeys. That's what we were told. They said they're savages running around without any, they couldn't read or write. It's like the system is designed to make us not connect. But with these positive platforms, or with this information coming out, people are not gonna like everything that I say. That's cool. They're not gonna like what you say. But screw them.
The beauty is, man. It's great, man. You have a great mind. You're over there, independent. You have your own channel. You speak about things, because at the end of the day, when instead of somebody telling your story, you're telling your own story. You control that narrative. at the end
Yeah.
of the day, that's what it's about. You
Yeah.
know, like, trust me, haters are gonna hate. It's about, for instance, if you jump into the water and a shark attacks you and you're disappointed. Come on,
Yeah.
that's what shark is supposed to do. If they don't do
Yeah.
that, you would be surprised. But it's really great, man, for you to come here. Definitely, whenever I take my trip to Gambia, I will definitely, be visiting you. So you can take me to the Kunta Kinte Island and
Of course.
places,
Of course.
places there, because
Of course.
it's been a while, But also one thing I gotta ask you over there. I mean,
Yeah.
let's not forget, like, maybe, because I follow the Gambian politics and stuff. There's a lot of corruption there,
Uh-huh.
over there, like, and
Yes.
there's a lot of people also, like the police, even so, they would beg and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
for me, I don't like beggars,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's sort
Yeah.
of, is a thing that, like, for me, that's why I like America. I love America because I
Hmm.
get to do my own thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Services are fast paced. I learn about what I want to learn. So, um, but it's good to see you there. And you having a law enforcement background, have you thought about, like, also opening like a security company there?
That was one of my thought processes when I was coming here initially. I say, I have all this experience, military and stuff, and I really considered it, and then I said, I really don't want to have nothing to do with that stuff no more. You know what I'm saying?
No,
It
well,
kind of, I got burned. Huh?
you can train the people, Um,
Okay.
yeah, you can probably, like, train the people, get your
Yeah.
own, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah, I
just a
understand.
thought. Yeah, just a
Yeah, I
thought
thought about it.
process.
I did
Yeah.
thought about it. I did, and people tell me like just you telling that as well. Well, if Gambians, if you're watching, you know, what you let me know what you think. And I mean, if you reach out to me or send me an email if you watching and you part of law enforcement or something like that, and let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? But as far as training, I don't know what kind of training, but maybe I don't know, but. It is, I have a lot of experience. I have military and this and that. So who knows? But I was like, but it's a very stressful career. You know that it's very
Right.
stressful. And
It
and
is. It definitely is.
yeah, yeah. So
So
yeah.
before we leave here,
Mhm.
what would you say to people who, like, what advice would you give to, you know, Pan-Africanists or Repa, whoever, whatever group they label themselves at, but they want to embark on this journey, to go to Gambia, Nigeria, wherever, because
Mhm.
it looks like you're having a really positive experience. You're right at
Yeah.
home. I have to say, because you look like a Fuller. That's 100%. And
Yeah. Thank you.
being a Fuller, that means
Yeah.
because Fullers are in every country in West Africa.
Yes.
Wherever you
Yes.
go, they're there.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice, to the people that are thinking about coming there, or what sort of opportunities you see there that they can explore, rather than just keep talking or saying they are there to take over, like all that internet talk.
Okay.
What advice would you give them?
My advice, first of all, give a shout out to B Sladen, all these subscribers here that's on your channel tonight. Thank you all for your positive comments and encouragement. XDMC and O'Shea Du Jackson was on here a little earlier and stuff like that. I appreciate everybody that was on St. James. You got a lot of good people that's on your channel. And like I said, for me, like I said, I'm still a U.S. citizen. I'm a resident here, so hopefully one day I get the citizenship coming on. Like I said, for me, I think that my advice to give you all is like do come prepared as best you can. learn as much as you can. Start eating the foods that may be here. You're not gonna have Burger Kings and McDonald's and all these places, man. Some of them, I don't even, I had stopped eating a lot of those. I was eating a little bit sometimes, but I wasn't
Wait,
eating,
they don't have
saying like
Jack.
I
They
was when
don't
I
have
was
Jack in
younger.
the Box. Are you saying they don't
No,
have
man.
Jack? Oh,
Yeah,
man,
man. They don't have Jack in
man.
the
Then
Box.
so a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
people
yeah,
can
yeah,
come. Then that's
yeah,
funny.
yeah. Yeah, man, they can't come back. So enjoy your. I mean, you got a tough channel, brother. And you hit me hard. People may not think so, but you hit me hard some tough questions, and I feel like I feel like everybody, please subscribe to this brother's channel, the African Dominance Report. I think that uh, there's a lot of positivity in here. Even I believe it. That's why I watch. I haven't watched all your videos, I promise, but I will, and I can't.
Right.
Trust me. I feel like you know, I don't know. It's just I feel like you have your purpose here in this realm, and it's a good purpose, and it's breaking things down like it should be broken down. I feel like for the most part, I'm very honored to be on your show. I really am. I don't go
I'm
on too many
honored to
people's
have
lives
you,
anymore.
man. I'm
I
honored
don't
to
go.
have you here, man. This
Yes.
is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
The conversation is great. The information, because usually, man, we don't get this type of information from people that are from over there. Usually, we hear a whole lot of uh shenanigans, and you come in here breaking it down, letting us know about your experience. You're not pointing fingers at anyone. It's just it's
Yeah.
refreshing. It's refreshing, and I'm sure the people really enjoyed it. I know, like, some of your haters and my haters, they came and followed us, but it's still great. As long as they are here, maybe one of these days, they would learn something. Who knows? Who
Who knows,
knows?
brother? Who knows,
Yeah, who
brother?
knows? You know, who knows?
Shout out to OOLL. Shout out to you. I see you there. OOLL. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Abada Yako Dada Yango. That's Ajuwinji. She's up there. It's right there. It says Ajuwinji Ojeri Lakwal Lakado. Thank you, Alfredamus Report, for hosting TAC. You know what I'm saying?
oh, and I didn't
That's
even
good people right there.
I
That's
didn't
good
even
people
ask
right there.
you. I didn't even,
Yeah.
like, do you speak Mandinka or Wolof? Do you pick up
Man,
phrases?
I'm picking up phrases here and there, but I'm hitting Fulani.
Fula?
That's what I'm hitting now. Yeah, so like I said, Hono Way, Jamtan.
Oh,
It says
Tanala, Jamtang,
Jamtan.
Konosukabe. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's right.
What else? Then you got me. Yahayata, Golehande,
Yahata Sukabe.
Sukate. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Right.
Yeah. Ninani. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
heard this, and then it's
Uh-huh.
coming, bro. It's coming.
Yeah.
Because I learned it has a similar flow to Swahili to me. So, and that's one of the things that I suggest everybody, man. Pick up one of these languages, everybody. Pick it up, man. Pick it up, man.
Man, that's beautiful, man. It's man, I really enjoyed this. I'm glad you
Me
came,
too.
man. I
I enjoyed
mean,
the show.
because at the end of the day, like you said, man, we're getting the information from both sides of the Atlantic. So people are gonna learn about these things. We know there are some who, they're angry, but their anger stems from not knowing what is going on. So this is why, even when they direct their anger at me, I never take it personal or be upset. For me, I believe that patience and time is man's best friend. Maybe today
Exactly.
they see things a certain way, you know. Maybe they might think, Afridamus is the bad guy today, but over time, maybe they
Exactly.
would see that, nah, that's not what it is. It's actually, Afridamus is here to open up the dialogue, open up things for us to see things differently. So,
Yes.
even I see one of my biggest haters is here. He's thanking you which is
Really?
Johanna, yes, Johanna. But I think I wouldn't even call him a hater. I think he's a fan because he doesn't miss the show. So
There you
that's
go.
great. Yeah, it's really great to have him here. Before we close out, I gotta play your introductory song again.
Okay.
So that the people see that how we do it over here at the Afridamos Report. Kick back, people.
Yes.